Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk radio.
Well, I'm waiting. In about 10 seconds' time, I should be getting the phone number of a rapper from America who's going to explain why the world is flat. It's Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
The world is just a great big onion, and hate and fear are the spices that make you cry. Oh, baby, and the only way to get rid of this great big onion is to plant love seeds until it dies. Hey world, we got a great big job to do. Yeah, we need you and everybody pull us through. Oh, you know we got to clean up this place and reach for high. Oh yeah. Yes, we do now. We gotta be headstrong about righting the wrong and make a lot more happy songs. Oh, baby, the world is just a great big onion, and I don't care if the things people like to wear. Oh, baby, and the only way to get rid of this great big onion, every single soul's got to do their share. Tell about it, baby. Come on, let's knock on every door. Woo. Tell them love is the answer, whether they're rich or poor. Oh yeah, and we don't care what you do, how you look, or your status claim, baby. No, because brothers and sisters from now on is gonna be everyone's name. Oh, the world is just a great big onion, and hate and fear are the spices that make you cry. Yes, it is. And the only way to get rid of this great big onion is to plant love seeds. Now everybody got to plant love seeds. Come on and plant love seeds until it dies. The world is just a great big onion.
What a surprise! What a surprise! What a surprise! So, talking to a gentleman rapper, if such a thing exists, PR problems. Boy, he's got some PR problems. Been talking to him for the last couple of weeks on Twitter. He's a rapper, he's a Christian, he's a conspiracy theorist, and he's a bullshiner. And he believes the world is flat. And he believes the world is flat, and he was going to come on and tell us why and how the world is flat and how it's been kept a secret from us sheeple. I, of course, am part of the problem. I am MSM. I am mainstream media. I'm being paid to propagate the lie that the world is round when, of course, it's flat. Now, I knew pretty much from day one this guy wasn't going to come on. He said, I'm going to give you a phone number on the day. At 10 o'clock, you're going to get a phone number. And I kind of knew early on he wasn't going to come, early doors, right? But I wanted to believe, I wanted to trust in his decency as a human being that he would be true to his word. Okay? And I went and looked at his Facebook page and he posted something on there that made me think, he's not going to come on. He's not going to come on and argue that the world is flat. Because obviously he can't. Okay, because obviously we know it's nonsense. You and I know it's nonsense, right? But there is a tiny percentage of people, minuscule, that either aren't sure if the earth is round or flat, they're not convinced either way, or they genuinely believe that the earth is flat. At PR Problems is one of those people. And if you look at his Facebook page, there are a few conspiracies on there. And I'll tell you the one about how Eminem got famous in a minute. I'll tell you how Eminem really made it as a rapper and why PR Problems is not making it as a rapper in a minute. And Kath was going, he's not going to come on. And I was going, no, I think he might. I think he might. He seems like a decent enough guy online. He seems decent enough. I think he might. He sent me a phone number. The phone number was 1-800-PLANES. Of course that number doesn't exist. We tried it. Of course that number doesn't exist. Of course the world is round. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm gutted because I was going to give him a fair crack of the whip, right? I wasn't going to destroy him. I would destroy his arguments, obviously. But I would have treated him with more respect than he's treated you with, dear listener. He has treated you with contempt and disgust. Okay? He's treated you badly. He's laughing at you. And I would have let him come on and I would have listened to the points that he had to raise. But unfortunately, he wasn't brave enough to come on and have a conversation with us about stuff that he believes. His belief is that the world is flat, that the governments and the MSM are controlling and suppressing that information, and that the world being flat proves that God exists. And that's kind of, unfortunately, as someone says on Periscope, he bottled it. Lone Disco Love, your phone won't accept our call. I don't know what that sentence means. It's just been typed on my screen that I need to say it. So at PR Problems, unfortunately, hadn't got the courage to come on and defend his views on the world being flat, and to therefore by default defend his God. He can't come on and defend his God. I'm assuming he means a Christian God, but I'm not completely sure. So I don't know. He's made references to the Bible, but then he's also said on his Facebook page that the Bible is flawed. So don't worry, we've got stuff for the show. We'll still do the show. 0844 499 1000. We've still got a show. It doesn't leave me in the lurch. It doesn't leave me thinking, oh God, we're going to fill for 3 hours. What the hell are we going to do? Doesn't leave me with that at all. That's not a problem at all. It just really disappoints me that someone could let me down so badly. You know, could lie to me, and I just feel cheated and tricked by someone I invested a lot of faith in, and defended to my work colleagues who said, he's not going to come on in. He's never going to come on. I was going, no, I think this guy might. I think what's his name? PR problems, I think he might come on. I think he might be different to the other trolls and cowards on the internet. Because he has faith in a God, he will come on and defend that God. And he can't. So what he's shown this evening is disrespect and contempt for me. That's fine. Disrespect and contempt for you, dear listener. And disrespect and contempt for a God that he proclaims to love. He has denied his God. By not coming on, he has denied his God. And that's the bit that strikes me as really odd and really disappointing. And I feel sadness for him. I feel real sadness for him that, because you go on his Facebook page, he's one of those people on Twitter, he's following more people than are following him. And you go on his Facebook page and he puts stuff out on his Facebook page asking questions. No one responds to it. I've scrolled down. No one's responding to his questions apart from some guy, calling someone else in one of his pictures a fag. So I make up there is a sadness and there is a loneliness there. And that's fine. That's understandable. But I really wanted to find out more about him as a man, as an artist, as a man of faith, and to find out how he ticks. And I think by stringing you and I along for the last 2 weeks and lying to us, it's not a Christian thing to do, is it? To lie and manipulate people. That's not a Christian thing to do. But by stringing us along and lying to us, I think we've learnt a lot about PR problems. I think we've learnt a lot more about PR problems than we would have if he'd have come on the show. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. I'll read out his theory in a moment on how rap stars like 50 Cent became famous. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. We can still talk flat earth if you want. But let me... where is it? Because I want to read to you. Here we go. So we go on PR problems page. And he has theories as to how... He's obviously... and I don't want you to go troll him and bully him on Twitter. And I actually don't want you to go and troll him and send abuse to him on Twitter. I genuinely don't want you to, okay? Because I suspect he's not well. Suspect the guy's not well. But I will read you a post he's put on his Facebook page about how rappers... He's a conspiracy theorist of the highest order, okay? And his theory, Glenn, I'll come to you in a second, on how rappers have succeeded. And this is the post. A fraternal organisation filled to the brim with an insulting term for homosexuals and evil men, which means rappers are sucking effing each other in the in front of small audiences, 6 to 8 people, and doing all kinds of perverted S-word just to remain signed and relevant in the game. Word from trusted sources have told me that the rap game is being outright pimped right now, and rappers are getting the shaft, literally. Jimmy Levine and many other major label moguls are using rappers to do perverted acts just to remain signed. So I'm sure... I'm sure Dre was forced to do something rude to Eminem's penis, or 50 effed Eminem. Something along those lines to stay signed. Quincy Jones asked Tupac to F him, and when Pac turned him down, QJ got heated and wanted nothing to do with Pac. Now, that's the kind of person we were dealing with, right? And that's why I just think, just be careful. I've made it so that he can't contact me privately anymore. Just be careful, okay? I don't think he's harmful, but I don't want you to troll somebody who is mentally unstable. And I say that, as Derek Acora would say, I say that with love. He's obviously not well. And it does make you think, doesn't it? Well, it makes me think. Here's the thing, right? Is the internet too freely accessible to everybody? We know that kids can access like really hardcore pornography and stuff now, but people who aren't able to, people whose grip on lucidity and reality is perhaps a little bit flimsy. Maybe we should have some way of distancing them from the internet. You know, when you go, as I've been told, to an adult site, right, and it says you've got to be 18 or over. Are you 18? Yes or no? You click yes, right. And kids, obviously, if they're gonna go, oh yeah, oh no, I'm only 15. I'm gonna click no. But there needs to be, there should be like a stronger test for age, shouldn't there? And there should also be a stronger test for your grip on reality, I think. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. Glenn's on the line. Good evening, Glenn.
Hip, 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 Ian. How are you?
Hip, 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 Glenn. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in people, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, first of all, just want to say I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in Edinburgh tomorrow.
Oh, you coming to the show tomorrow at 2:30?
I'm coming along. Me and my friend Robert are coming to the afternoon one.
I think it's tomorrow. I think it's Al Murray and Janie Godley. I think that's tomorrow's show.
I think that's the one, but I'm really just going for the Iain Lee side of things. We would love a picture with you afterwards.
Yes,
if you don't mind.
Come and grab me. If anyone's, I'm doing 2 shows in Edinburgh. One tomorrow at 2:30, one on Saturday at 2:30. I say shows. I'm just hosting a panel show, so it's not really kind of me. But yeah. Come and grab me. And if you see me wandering around Edinburgh over the next couple of days, and you want a picture, come and say anyone. Come and say hello, man. Definitely.
Groovy. We'll be about. If we see you on the street, we'll certainly introduce ourselves.
Please do, man.
Significantly, we will not touch you. We know we don't like that.
Yes. Good. Yes.
However, on the flat Earth thing, it is a bit sad, isn't it? And the flat Earth thing, it's kind of like when you did the interview with David Icke. If you give that person the platform and you listen to them out, you can understand their logic, whether or not you choose to believe in what they're saying, even if you believe it's total nonsense. But it is sad, and I do think your hardcore listeners won't abuse that individual. They'll anyone who's listened to you for the length of time that I and many others have will let that person be. But it is a bit of a shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and he's just sending me abuse on Twitter, so I'm just going to do one reply, and then I'm going to mute him. He says, I'm a liar, nice to try to throw dirt on my name now that I'm not present, what a joke. He's listening. The weird thing is he's listening. Yeah. And I'm not throwing dirt. I'm explaining how we've been really let down by someone. But I'm going to mute him now, and that's that's. Let me add up all the time I've spent messaging him over the last 2 weeks. That's about 8 minutes of my life I've wasted.
You've given him a good bit of time. You've given him at least 10 or 15 minutes of tonight's radio show.
Yep.
I think you've done your bit.
Yep, definitely. We'll move on. Hey, here's the fun thing, Glenn. So my flight tomorrow, flying to Edinburgh.
You're flying to Edinburgh from London?
Well, from Luton. So yes,
from Luton. Yeah, okay.
I'm not paying for it, but it's cheaper than a train.
That's true.
Yeah, it's much. It's cheaper.
£200 for a train.
Yeah, exactly. It's cheaper. It's I think the flight's about 40 minutes or something ridiculous. Exactly, but the flight is at 8:30 in the morning. Now I live an hour and a half away from Luton Airport, so. Mm-hmm. I'm sleeping in my car in Luton Airport tonight. In the car park? In the car park of Luton Airport, I will be sleeping. I will get there at about 2:15, and I will get about 4 3/4 hours sleep in a car in the car park.
That is brilliant. If I do get the chance to meet you after the panel show in the afternoon, the first thing I'll ask you was, how was your sleep?
And I can do a little doze in the car. I'm a big fan of dozing in the car, but to get a full night's sleep, and then I won't get to sleep until tomorrow night. And I've got 2 shows. We're doing the show at 2:30, and then we're doing this show in the evening at Sophie Sarah's house. So I'm going to have a long old day of not sleeping. I'm knackered already.
Jaggy bits in the car. I'm impressed that you can get at least a decent kiss in there.
What you do is driver's seat. You roll the back seat back a bit, but not completely. So it's on, I'd say, about 30-degree angle. Then it's your legs go into the passenger footwell. Your head goes on the headrest. Your arm goes over your head. Bosh.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, and that is how you do it. And I am going to be hanging tomorrow. It's going to be a car crash.
Well, I expect you to be nothing but refreshing.
Thank you, Glenn. I shall see you tomorrow, mate.
Take care.
Cheers, bye-bye. 0844 499 1000. Good evening, Alan.
Hip, 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 sir.
Hip, hip, hip.
I have some good news.
Oh, what's this? Someone's touched your willy.
No, my mum may be out of hospital at the weekend.
Well, really, because they don't normally let people out at the weekends, I've found, to my frustration.
Well, she might be out tomorrow, she might be out Friday,
Beautiful.
she might be out Sunday.
Well, that's excellent news, Alan. Superb.
And also, you know you're off next week.
Yeah?
Sean's told you that me and Lady Cadog could take over.
Well, if only that were possible. Unfortunately, it's not, Alan, as neither of you...
So who's taking over?
They're playing best-ofs.
All week?
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm going to be featured on there.
Probably, it's best-ofs, Alan. The best bit, so probably unlikely.
Oh, I would have loved to have been part of a best of.
Well, exactly, but the thing is...
I'm more like a worst of.
Thank you very much indeed, Alan. That's the key phrase in that sentence. Yes, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. And I wanted to talk about Flat Earth.
Yeah, we can still talk about it. I mean, it's complete nonsense, and you can't trust the people that talk about it, and they're liars. They're liars, or they're fantasists, or they're mentally ill. Those are the three things.
Columbus proved the Earth was round. Like it said in history.
Well, did he?
Yeah, because if he knew the world was round, he would have discovered America.
Well, no, but America would be on the flat bit.
No, it would have gone over the edge.
Well, no, but the flat bit would have been past America.
Yeah, but America would have existed because it would have gone over the edge.
Yeah, but he didn't get far enough to get to the edge.
Only because he landed in the West Indies.
But you don't know where the edge is. There isn't an edge!
Well, they are a good tag team, Ed and Christian.
Yes. Alan, I'm going to cut you off.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. So that is the high-flying showbiz lifestyle I lead, that straight after this show, in the car, drive through London, drive up the M1, go to Luton Airport, and sleep for it's gonna be 4 hours and 45 minutes worth. You'll be all right. Yeah, it's all right. Don't you worry, Kath and Ed. You're going home to your respective houses and your respective bedrooms. I'll be fine. Dossing in the car like that woman outside Alan Bennett's house. That's what it's going to be like. I'm going to be a cross between the woman outside Alan Bennett's house and Tom Hanks in that airport. That's what it's somewhere between the two. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be cold. And I mustn't listen to the radio or I will get a flat battery. This year, I've had a flat battery 3 times this year. It's a very 70s thing, but I had a flat battery 3 times because I would sit in my car, charging my phone up, listening to the radio, and then and then an hour later going, I've got to go now, and I'd start the engine. Of course, it wouldn't start, and I had to flag people down to jumpstart me. Now, luckily, I know how to jumpstart. It's one of the few things I know how to do it. Saying that, the last time I did it, I blew the radio up. That's by the by. I touched the things, isn't it? But so I mustn't listen to the radio or use any of the heating facilities. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio. Have the good sports started on the Olympics yet? Because we ain't got no phone calls, which makes me think that the good sports must have started on the Olympics. At the moment, it's all the boring, posh sports, isn't it? It's lots of aquatic sports, lots of the diving, the rowing. I think we had some rowing sports. The wet ones, all the wet ones. The proper sports, of course, are the 400-metre dash, the 100-metre dash, the relay, and the jumping. Those are the proper sports. Those, for me, are what the Olympics is all about. People running and jumping, not swimming, not diving, certainly not horsey sports. You know that when they do the horse sports, the horses get flown over to the country that's happening in. You know that. They have horse passports and they get flown. Imagine putting a horse on an aeroplane. It's not going to sit in the plane like a normal person, you idiot. Now, I know that. But you imagine the technicalities of transporting a horse from, let's just say, this country to, I don't know, Rio. Oh, there's a show about fat people on Channel 5 right now that I'm being told about. That will do it. That would do it. I'll just sit here and talk. I'm in no great shakes to do anything else, guys. Anything else. 0844 499 1000. Lee's on the line. Evening, Lee.
Good evening, Iain. How are you?
Hip, Lee. I'm all right now, thank you.
Good. Well, I should actually say, as Pat posted on Facebook, flat.
What?
Flat Earth, you know, flat.
Oh, can I just say, we're having problems with our phones this evening, so Jules, could you call back, please? Thank you. Paging Jules.
Conspiracy theories, Iain.
Yeah, go on, let's have them.
No, I haven't really got any myself, but I've got an idea for a guest for you. You probably heard of this fella. How about Alex Jones, the mad American?
I'm Alex Jones, and we're all gonna die.
That's the one.
That's the guy, isn't it? I don't know that much about him. I know he used to be on Talk Radio years ago.
Oh, really? I must have missed that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wasn't he on the James? He was on with James Whale, I think. I'm sure he was sometimes.
Okay.
I know he's been, you know, Louis through. John Ronson did a documentary, and Alex Jones was in it. I mean,
he's a bit mad.
Well, this is the thing, right? I don't know enough about him to know if I want him on or not. What I've heard about him, what I've heard of him, I don't particularly like. He's just a shouting, obnoxious American, and I don't know if there's anything more substantial to the act. You know, I don't know if there's anything more to it than that. And it's just going to get a professional agitator on. I don't know how interesting that would be, but it might be worth.
It's an idea.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll do a Twitter poll. How about that?
There's a good plan.
During the next break, I'm going to do a Twitter poll to see if people would like me to approach him to ask if he wants to come on, and we'll make a decision when we get the stats in.
He could certainly give you plenty of crazy conspiracy theories, I'm sure.
But I mean, I could go online Lee, do you believe any? The only conspiracy theory I give some credence to is JFK. But I believe it was a lone gunman. I believe it was Lee Harvey Oswald. But I do believe that the CIA might have, or someone rogue in the CIA, put him up to it. But the rest of them, the Twin Towers. You know, Princess Diana died because she wasn't wearing a seatbelt and she was being driven too fast by a drunk man. That's a drunk man, yes. That's that. I don't buy any of the conspiracy theories, really.
No, I mean, the way I always look at it is like the Twin Towers. How would they keep that quiet? There must be hundreds of people that would have known about it if it was a conspiracy. And someone's going to talk, aren't they?
Yeah. Exactly. You can't keep something like that hidden. But then, Lee, I'm the mainstream media. I'm part of the problem.
Oh, you're part of the. I've forgotten the word now.
Well, I'm part of the conspiracy, the cabal, the Illuminati, of course I am.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, of course. And I would say, but I've not been told to I just sit here and think what I think. But then we're all sheeple, Lee. We're all sheeple.
Are you secretly on the CIA's payroll, Ian? Let's be honest.
Yes, that is it. That's exactly what's going on. So
anyway, which car park in Luton are you staying in?
None of your flipping business, you pervert. Loads of people are saying, well, why don't you go and stay in a hotel? Well, because well, no, it costs money, but also I'd be in the hotel bed for 4 hours.
I've done that before.
I've done it before. I did it once before, actually, but I'd have to go to a hotel. I'd get literally 4 hours in the bed, up, quick shower, and then I'd have to go off and drive to the airport. So I might as well. I mean, it's been booked quite badly, and perhaps I should have done tonight's show from Edinburgh as well. Doesn't matter. But there's no point in going to a hotel for 4 hours. I might as well stay in the car for 4 hours 45. If worse comes to worse, I'll go and have a little mooch around Luton Airport. That'll be fun.
Oh, ride on the escalators, up and down.
Up and down. Well, I think they close Luton Airport, don't they? Quite early.
I've never been to Luton.
It's a dump. I worked there for 3 years and I had to pretend I loved it. It was a dump. They had a crappy carnival and it was miserable there. The carnival there was miserable. Most of the council were numpties and it was a dump. There we go. Got that off my chest. Then we moved to Dunstable that was even worse. Even bigger dump.
Nice. All right.
Anything else, Lee?
Actually, going back to the flat Earth, have you seen the crazy people that actually say the Earth is hollow, not flat?
Oh yeah, I've heard. Yeah, because when I was looking into the flat earthers, I looked. You go off in all these little offshoots, and there are people that think the Earth is hollow. And I can't remember what they think is in the Earth.
Nazis and aliens.
Nazis, that was it. Nazis, yeah, Nazis.
I wonder where they all went.
Yeah, well, they're in the middle of the Earth. They're not though. There are still Nazis from World War II, still being rounded up and arrested and charged with Nazi war crimes. There was a story in one of the papers today about 8 more high-ranking Nazis have been found.
They weren't found at the Olympics, were they? Because they all live in Brazil, most of them, didn't they?
Well, they were supposed to have moved to Brazil and Argentina, weren't they?
Yeah. Talking of the Olympics, you asked about the sports. The track cycling's on now, so yes, it is quite interesting.
Oh, come on.
I'm still listening to you. I've just got the pictures on the track cycling.
Okay. Cool. Well, Lee, thank you very much indeed. You go and watch your cycling, you pervert. I've not spontaneously seen any of the Olympics this year. It's on in the office, because we're next to Talk Sport. And so it's on in the office. But I have not caught a glimpse of any sport and thought, oh, hang on a second, hang on, I just want to watch this. I've not sat at home and thought, I wonder what's happened or been happening in the Olympics. I've had none of that. So, I would say this is the dullest Olympics we've ever had. 0844 499 1000. Let's go to Jules. Hello, Jules.
Hello, mate.
Hello, fella. What you got for us?
Well, it's just like straight away, first of all, I mean, I ain't like listened to you before on radio, but I've seen your shows beforehand.
Yes.
And I've been listening to this on the podcast for the last 3 weeks. Quality.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much.
Why don't you do the whole show on a podcast?
Oh, man, he asked that question. It's out of our hands. I would love to. My bosses won't allow it. There you go. That's as straight an answer as I can give you.
That's a gear, really. But anyway, yeah.
Jules.
Yeah.
If you look hard enough on the internet,
yeah,
you can find them.
Okay, I'll do that very deviously then.
Just ask Matthew Stevenson on Twitter.
Okay, I'll do that.
But basically, what we do is we put an hour of the show out, and then if we get a guest on, we'll put that as a separate interview, a separate podcast as well. iTunes, Iain Lee, Talk Radio. We've got lots of people listening on Periscope and all around the world this evening. So go to iTunes or your usual podcast provider. IAIN LEE Talk Radio. Boom, up they come, and you can enjoy them.
Will do, dude.
Thank you, man.
Okay, mate. Yeah, no, it's just like you like your films and everything. It's just like there's certain films that can't be remade. It's like they've rebooted like RoboCop and all that crap. But there's one old film, I don't remember this, cannot be redone.
Well, before you tell me what it is, right, I don't think anything is sacred anymore in terms of cinema. You and I know that certain films should never be remade. Are they remaking, or is it a sequel to Mary Poppins?
No, remade.
I think it's a prequel. Okay. I don't think they should ever remake any films, but, Hollywood smells the dollar, Jules.
Totally.
And they go for it. What's the one you think that should never be done?
Southern Comfort.
The what?
Southern Comfort. Have you never seen Southern Comfort?
I've heard of the drink. I've never heard of the film.
Oh, mate, you want to see the film? It's with Powers Booth and Keith Carradine in it.
All right. Well, yeah. What is it about?
It's about what do you call it? Like the TA, but American version, going to Louisiana, the swamps.
Yeah.
And they don't do a spoiler, but they something.
I don't want to do a spoiler, but they do something. I know.
Bad, so it makes all the other, like, not inbreds, but...
It sounds a little bit like Deliverance. I go.
No, better.
Hang on a minute. I've just got it up on IMDb. It gets 7.2, which is great. Anything over 6.8 on there, and I'm in. A squad of National Guards on an isolated weekend exercise in the Louisiana swamp must fight for their lives when they anger local Cajuns by stealing their canoe. How have I never heard of this film before? It looks awesome.
Mate. I grew up with this film. I probably watched it about 30 times.
Yeah.
Because there's some real gruesome, like, killings in it and that, and it's very clever.
I'm off next week, and I've got...
You need to watch it.
Yeah, mate, I've got nothing planned. That's going on the list. That's going to the top of the list.
Have you heard of Powers Booth before?
Yeah, I know the name Powers Booth.
And Keith Carradine, obviously, he was the brother of the one who done the dodgy hanging thing.
What? He was the brother? Is he David Carradine's brother?
Yeah, he's the one who...
I never knew that.
Yeah.
David Carradine. Apparently, the thing about him dying that way is a myth.
Is it really?
Yeah, I read somewhere that it was a myth, that it wasn't true. And also, I was getting my beard trimmed today at a trendy barber's, right?
Right.
And they were playing Quadrophenia in there, which was good. I like that. It's not the best Who album, but I like it. Hey, speaking of that, they're making a sequel to Quadrophenia.
I wasn't too really liking the first one, to be honest. I wasn't really...
I like the first one, but they're making a sequel, and Phil Daniels is in it. I thought he died at the end of Quadrophenia. Anyway...
I thought he died this week. This year, rather.
What, in real life?
I was Paul Daniels, running off Paul Daniels.
Thank you. Thank you, Jules. But the Who were playing, and the guy, Jimmy, who's a nice guy who does my hair, does my beard, don't let him touch my hair, was talking about John Entwistle dying, and he said, oh yeah, John Entwistle got found dead in a wardrobe, having an asphyxie, and was found hanged. He wasn't. He died at the age of 60 or something, doing cocaine in bed with a hooker. But it's not funny. It's interesting how how people's deaths get exaggerated and taken and become facts. The David Carradine thing isn't true. He didn't die like that.
Did he really not?
No, I don't. Now I'm doubting myself. I don't think he. Certainly, I don't think he did. He may have been a suicide. It wasn't a sex game.
Right.
But I thought I think he had a heart attack. Anyway, someone will know.
But yeah, I know you like your music and you like your sort of really, I don't know, that didn't really like the bloke who came. Well, he's good, the bloke that in the other night on the guitar.
Oh, Stephen Page?
Yeah. Do you like your hip hop and that, and the rap?
Hip hop is not my bag, so I don't really know it. I don't really know it very well.
Okay, then I won't say anything.
No, go on, say it. Say it.
No, it's just a really good underground album, which is about 10 years ago.
It's too recent for me. And too recent for me. I'm an old fart, Jules. I like stuff from the last century.
Yeah, right, okay.
But
I was looking back like today.
Yeah.
And because I put you in Google and I did think you look very, very thin when you were on the 11 show.
Well, that's because I have more money then.
Yeah, but now you're really filled out now and you do look a lot better.
I totally agree. I look back on those old shows and I was way too thin. You know, I wasn't eating.
That was a quality show because you sprouted off, was it Ali G and the old man,
Gervais.
What's his name now?
Gervais.
Oh, yeah, Ricky, yeah.
They were all on there, man. They were all on there.
You still in contact with Ricky?
No. We had a brief little chat on Twitter about 2 weeks ago, and that was the first time I've spoken to him in years. I went to the David Brent premiere last night. He invited me to that, but I'm not
good.
Oh, I really wanted to like it, Jules. I really wanted to like it. And the first 15
a bit like no.
First 15 minutes were hilarious, and the rest of it I found hard work. Yeah, I look in the paper. In the paper, it's getting like 5-star reviews.
I wonder why that is.
Me and my mate Scott, who went with me, we keep tweeting each other or texting each other photographs of good reviews going, how is this possible?
Really?
When it comes out on general release and people see it, I'd love to get people's reactions to it because I love Ricky. I think he's a genius. I love The Office. This just didn't do it for me.
Do you like Life's Too Short?
I didn't watch it. I don't really watch TV much now, so I didn't watch it. I didn't really. I got the joke from the title, and I thought, okay, right, I don't really need to. I don't find Warwick. I don't find Warwick Davis funny, so I didn't want to watch him.
Yeah, but there's more bits when there's. I know he gives a bit too much because sometimes there's too much of Ricky Gervais and what's his name? Who's with the tall geezer?
Merchant.
Yeah, and when they get together, it's a bit too much. But there's quite a funny bit when Warwick Davis comes in and they're talking to the bloke who now is in the American office, and they do like a thing, you know, doing FaceTime.
Yeah.
And that works really well.
Oh, I bet there's funny bits in it, and Merchant and Gervais are brilliant. I don't like Warwick Davis, really. I'm not a fan of Warwick Davis, so it didn't really appeal to me. I liked Extras. I thought Extras was good.
Quality, yeah.
Jules, listen, I'm glad you found us, mate. I'm glad you've called in as well. Thank you. Not everyone does. Not everyone who finds us does. Mike and Craig, I will come to you after Simon. Good evening, Simon.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Simon.
Good evening.
What you got for us, boss?
I don't have much. I was phoning to pick a bit of an argument with you, though.
Yeah, go on.
Well, it was just when you were talking about the flat earth chap earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it's a jump to go from saying that someone has odd beliefs to saying that they're mental.
I didn't say he was I didn't say he was a mental.
Mentally unwell, I think was where you went with it.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
No, that was it. I just think it's a bit of a jump to go from somebody having odd belief to them being mentally unwell.
Do you think someone thinking the Earth is flat is an odd belief?
Yes.
You just think it's odd?
I think it's an odd belief, yeah.
You think it's just odd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more than odd. I think it's a bit more than odd. And that...
You could say the same about his Christian views as well. I think they're odd, because I don't subscribe to them, doesn't...
Well, no, but we're talking specifically about saying the Earth is flat. I think it's significantly more than odd. To think that. I also, that wasn't the only reason that I drew my, and I did say I'm making this up. So I've got no factual hard evidence. I am just, putting lots and lots of little bits together, and that's the conclusion I came to. He may or may not be. But, the fact that he obviously had no intention of coming on the show, and lied, despite being a Christian, lied and manipulated and misled people. That, combined with thinking the Earth is flat, makes me think that. And also, I've listened to some of his music. I did my research on this guy. I'm not, I know I sound like I throw this together, but I'm good at my job, Simon. I'm good at my job.
I'm sure you are.
And I've listened to his music, and I've seen his views that the rap industry is perpetuated by famous rap stars forcing to have anal sex with each other to make sure their record contracts are extended. I put all of that together, and yes, I make up that he has a mental illness of some description. Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know what is your point?
Well, my point. Well, I think that the word mental illness. I think that the use of saying that people are mentally ill is something that's bandied about too much, and I think it can stigmatise people.
I wasn't bandying it about. I thought about it very carefully before I said it. And there is a significant amount. It's not me just going, he's a nutter. He's absolutely mental. They would never say someone was, well, I would now. Someone will find an example of me saying someone's mental. I was very specific about saying I make up that I think he might have a mental illness. And, that all of that evidence together to me, shows signs of, narcissism, perhaps megalomania, fantasy,
it's a wee bit delusional.
Delusional, manipulation. You put all that together, that's someone who's not very well, in my humble opinion.
If it helps, and full disclosure, I work in mental health, which is why I'm always interested in how that sort of thing comes across.
Yeah, and if you've listened to the show, Simon, you will know that it's not an insult that I bandy around. I wasn't bandying it around as an insult either. I was pointing it out today. But it's not an insult that we throw out when people phone up and, all of God's children are welcome on this show. But, if someone were to say, such and such is a mental case or a nut job or something, this show has a lot of respect for mental illness.
Yeah, I've helped you talk at once. Hello.
And also, I was suggesting that because that person may not be well, I was asking my listeners not to harass them, even though they have been verbally aggressive with me and my followers on Twitter.
Which is fair enough. Yeah. I just wanted to talk about it. I wasn't having a.
Well, you were at the start, Simon. You were at the start, and I hope that all of my evidence and arguments. You did say you wanted an argument. As you did, that's what you came on and said. So that's having a pop. So there is my evidence. I rest my case, Your Honour.
Your case is rested.
Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number, and it's a shame because I was going to play that guy's music as well. We played a track the other day. I'm not going to say his name again because it is. I've muted him now on Twitter. I'm not even going to give him the satisfaction of blocking him. I've muted him, and he's listening. So. That's good to know. But I was going to play his music and stuff and talk about his music as well. And, it's really disappointed me. Not, again, we've done an hour of radio, not because it's left me short for anything. I just feel let down as a human being. From one human being who is passionate about something to another human being who is passionate about something. I feel really, betrayed and let down, all for the sake of well, I don't know what that person would have got out of it. I mean, he's probably laughing You know, he's probably laughing now and thinking he's got one over on us. He hasn't, you know, one has not been got over on one, but, I feel really sorry for him and sad for him. He had a real opportunity to publicise his music and talk about something that he obviously, believes in. I do think that if people genuinely believe the earth is flat, I do think I do think there's got to be some sort of mental condition there to go against all of the evidence that we have presented to us. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Talk Radio.
0844 499 1000. Oh, I've got a brilliant song to play you. Someone has... Nigel, if you're listening, you might want to call in. Someone has remixed us. Oh, and it's very rude, but it's very catchy. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Is that? That's, Dan did that.
Can you play again?
No, don't, please, for goodness sakes. Dan did that.
Hello.
Whoa!
Testy.
Hang on a minute. That might get, he's got other songs on there. Where's that going? Oh, that's playing that. That might be a bit rude. Thank you for that, Dan. If you want to follow him on Twitter and say, well, I think that's brilliant. I could be quite a good pop singer. It turns out, with auto-tune, I've got quite a nice voice. I mean, I've got a nice voice anyway. It's just the notes I perhaps struggle with, because it's more of, when I sing, it's more of an expression of passion as opposed to a technical exercise. So some of the notes might be a bit off. But with auto-tune employed, everything's covered. At the DC DJ. The DC DJ. It's Daniel Carrasco, who's, I'm going to say it, the guy's a genius. Huh? If he can get a 2.5 minute hit, let's be honest, that will go straight to number 16 in the charts, out of about 30 seconds worth of radio, then fair play to that. Thank you, Dan. I love it. At the DC DJ. Jerry!
Hello.
Hello, Jerry. How you doing, man?
Not very well tonight.
Is it the heat?
Heat's killing me.
Yeah, man. It's very humid. I'm in here and the air conditioning's on. I'm still sweaty. Very sweaty and humid.
I'm sweating.
Sweaty.
Like an ocean.
That's
Billy Ocean.
A bit like Billy Ocean, yes. Being the opening act for Will Young.
I need some advice. I don't know if you can give me some advice.
Yes.
The council's trying to get me to go on my bungalow.
The council are going to do what to you? Burn your bungalow down?
Well, they might want to. I'm sounding a bit husky tonight.
You've had a bit of whiskey?
Sounding a bit husky.
Say that again.
Sounding a bit husky.
Sally Borofsky?
I'm sounding a bit husky.
Oh.
I'm from Stoke Compounds, mate.
It's not, the thing is, you're talking better than you often do. It's because I've got these headphones and I can't hear very well on these headphones because I'm going deaf. These headphones are a bit echoey, and so sometimes it's really hard to hear what's being said, particularly when someone's sounding a bit husky.
We can't pronounce H's in Stoke, we don't do very well.
No.
Arthur Cooks is a Stoke, and he struggled with his H's. Trying to speak all posh on Match of the Day. We can always do Stokey. I
wish more people would speak posh on TV. We've lost that. Now everyone goes on, now you'll talk like that, or you get like a blooming Geordie accent or something like that. I want posh received pronunciation again.
I love Rolling Rat with Adrian Childs. Did you see that?
Adrian Childs?
This is Rolling Rat.
Is Adrian Childs still broadcasting on 5 Live?
I don't know.
Nice guy. Boring.
He was on Working Lunch years ago.
He was on what?
Working Lunch on BBC. He's on daytime television.
He was, and then it all went pear-shaped when he did the one show and got eyes bigger than his belly, didn't he? Him and that lady, and they got snapped up by ITV. They went for the dollar and went to do Good Morning Britain, didn't they, or whatever it was called, Daybreak, and it crashed miserably. And the lady, I like the lady. I went on the one show when they were both on there. And it was, I tell you, one of the guests that was on there with me was David Cameron before he was Prime Minister. He was a smug git.
Don't trust politicians.
Don't trust politicians. He was a smug
Dennis
git.
Skinner, all right. Have you ever met Dennis Skinner?
Who's Dennis Skinner?
He's the Beast of Bolsover. Does seriously comment a traditional Labour.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Old school. Speaking of traditional Labour, did you ever watch GBH when it was on with Robert Lindsay and Michael Palin?
No.
Oh, I bought 1991, Channel 4, written by Alan Bleasdale, gritty. I bought the box set for a few quid, and I started watching it. I started watching it yesterday. And I finished episode 1 today. Oh.
Once saw Michael Palin in a bookshop signing books, talking with his mouth full of cake.
He had his mouth full of cake. What a dirty bugger!
Yeah,
what a dirty git! It's gone right down in my estimations. But this GBH, Jerry, and half good. Tense political drama. Makes it sound dull. It's not. It's brilliant.
Any other good recommendations?
Yeah? Do you want some, or have you got some?
No, I've got none. I've got Banana Man, that's my last DVD.
You lost your last two what?
Last DVD I've got Banana Man. The Goodies. Remember that?
The Goodies?
The Goodies did the voiceover to Banana Man.
Was it all of the Goodies that did the voice? I suppose...
Yeah, Graham Gordon.
Tim Brooke Taylor.
And the other one, Bill Oddie.
Who was Bill Oddie in it then? No, Bill Oddie was Super Ted, wasn't it?
Bill Oddie was Banana Man as a boy. As Eric.
Well, hang on a minute. Why didn't they make more of it then, that it was the Goodies?
Probably the Goodies didn't want.
They should have said Banana Man starring the Goodies.
Hey, what's some crap? Hey, can I just ask some advice?
Yeah.
Straight up. I want to know what my options are. If anyone knows what my options are, if the council wants to kick me into the care home has changed the goalposts since I've
So
been
the council want to put you in a care home and move you out of your bungalow?
Yeah, I started on bungalow. Moved into care home, loved it when the first come here, but they moved the goalposts.
How have they moved the goalposts?
Because I don't know if you know much about Parkinson's, but again, the phrase just go like a statue.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need feeding. But they used to feed me when I was frozen. But now they refuse to feed me, they have to wait to come round, so I miss meals. They say in case of choke, another choke to my life. And there's another thing, hang on, just trying. Another thing is...
Yeah.
So just to try and get my drugs to kick in,
yeah,
that's to push me forward in my wheelchair to get pressure off my back. It's really weird how it works. But the drugs kick in, but
hang on, so what, pushing you in your wheelchair makes the drugs kick in faster?
Yeah, trust me, if I'm on my side or on my back...
Yeah.
So if I'm on my back, everything tenses up, and it's really difficult to explain, but it just feels sucked in.
So hang on. So what's the plan then? So they're going to move you in a care home?
They won't keep me in this, but they're not happy. And I want to know what my options are. If anyone knows how anyone's been through this.
Well, having been in a similar situation with my mum, that the main reason that I had to decide that she had to move into a care home was the council. We had a meeting with the council, and they said, your mum requires too much care. The carers that are going round there are unable to provide her with the care that she requires, so we are going to withdraw the care. So she'll be on her own. But basically, they were worried that my mum would have a serious accident, because she would sit on her sofa, right, on her armchair, and if she dropped the TV remote control on the floor, she'd lean forward to pick it up, and then she'd just fall forward because she's got no upper body strength. So she'd just fall forward and fall on the floor, and she could be there all day, or she could, she could break her leg. And the council were worried that she would like break a leg or a hip or something, or die, and then there'd be a huge insurance claim. And they said they weren't prepared to take the risk anymore.
Yeah, but surely they're leaving with no cat, they're open. Negligence, aren't they? So I'm providing with any cat.
Jerry, you're quite mumbly today.
Yeah,
and I'm not. No. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying that because I'm struggling to understand what you're saying. It's partly these headphones, and it's also partly your condition today because of the heat. Again, similar with the MS. I know it affects when it's hot like this, and it's at the end of the day. There's no point in me talking to my mum because I won't understand a word she says. So I'm struggling to understand what you're saying tonight, Jerry, and I hope you're not offended by me saying that.
No, I'm not.
You get it, don't you?
You give me time to speak to you.
Yeah, of course.
Respect me. And I respect you, or...
I didn't say, Jerry, I respected you, mate. Let's not get carried away, Jerry, all right?
I respect you, that was
well, there you go.
Faux pas by me.
Well, faux pas, your faux pas is accepted. Jerry?
I shall leave the building.
Well, make it hard for them.
Oh, do it.
Make it hard, mate. Listen, you go out. I know kicking and screaming is not necessarily going to be the thing, but it's I can see both sides of this, and quite often the human side in these decisions gets ignored. And I know, having dealt with social workers and counsellors and occupational therapists and all those kind of people, there are one or two absolute diamonds in there, but there are also, it's mainly made up of robots.
Care disables people.
Yeah. There's a lot of robots there. There are some wonderful people, before I get complaints, so you can't say all social workers and all. I've met some brilliant people, some people with actual hearts, but there are a lot of robots there who are ticking boxes and saving money. Above and beyond thinking about the person that is trapped inside that body.
I always say it's your choice, but you let down an avenue where there is no choice.
Yeah, it's your choice as long as you choose what we've chosen for you already.
Okay, take care, and I'll speak to you.
Jerry, speak to you soon, mate. Try and get some rest.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, mate. Jerry's got Parkinson's, which is why sometimes it's easier to understand than others. And also, these headphones are rubbish, and I've got better headphones, and I need to get an adapter. And once I've got the adapter, I can start using the better headphones. 0844 499 1000. Craig, you're next, then it's Mike. Hey, it's not bad tonight, is it? All things considered. Tomorrow's show will be coming live from Sarah Sophie's house, just outside of Edinburgh. And I will be meeting up with Jake Yap tomorrow in Edinburgh, who's got the bit of kit called the Comrex. He's going to present me with the Comrex, and he's going to tell me how to work the Comrex. And then we're going to go to Sarah Sophie's house, and it won't work, and you'll probably listen to a best-of. I'm assuming you have a best-of standing by, just in case. Good, because I got a feeling ain't gonna work, oh no! Of course it's not gonna work. I heard when Rudd was outside on Johnny and Ash's show. Couldn't hear it. So, that was half a mile down the road. We're all the way up the M1. So, fingers crossed, we'll be coming from Sarah Sophie's house, tomorrow evening at 10. And if that doesn't happen, then we're absolutely screwed. And if you see me wandering around Edinburgh, striding around like the king of the Fringe Festival, come and say hello. We're always welcome, always happy to have people come up and say hello and stuff like that. Don't touch me. It's my one thing. Don't touch me. No need for physical contact. But come and say hello and have pictures taken if you want. I don't mind. I'm going to see. So I'm doing 2 shows. Well, 3 shows. Doing this show tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, I'm doing a show with Al Murray and Janie Godley, both of whom I think are brilliant. Saturday I'm doing a show at 2:30, and I cannot for the life of me think who it is with. Oh, it's Simon Evans and a guy called Mark Ellis, I think. And then that's it. On Saturday night afternoon, we're going to go and see Adam Hess, who is, I think, I'm going to say this, Adam Hess is, I think, the funniest stand-up, and I don't really like stand-up, the funniest stand-up I've ever seen. Absolute genius. He's certainly the funniest person on Twitter. He's he's brilliant. So seeing that, and then that's it, as far as I've got for shows. So I'll find a couple more bits and pieces to see. Craig!
Hi, Ian.
Hey, Craig, how you doing, man?
Good, thanks. Well, Janie Godley, good podcast she does.
Does she do a podcast? Everyone does a podcast.
But she does it with her daughter, Ashley.
I saw her daughter doing stand-up at the Edinburgh Festival in 1999 when her daughter was 13 years old.
Yeah. Well, she's back doing stand-up now. She stopped for ages, Ashley. And now she's doing it again.
I like Janie Godley. She's a potty mouth, right?
Oh, brilliant. Oh, they're so down to earth.
Did you see, when Donald Trump recently came to Scotland to visit one of his golf courses, Janie Godley stood there with a massive banner that I think said Donald Trump is a C word.
That's it.
And she stood there, and it was just her on her own, and the police escorted her off, and it's just a beautiful shot of Trump there and her holding that sign in the background. Beautiful.
She's framed it now. It's on her wall.
Good for her. She follows me on Twitter, and she was very supportive she's always very supportive of me. Whatever happens to me on Twitter, she quite often sticks her oar in and has a pop at the person who's having a pop at me. And I love her for that.
She gave Jerry Sadowitz his first gig.
Did she?
Yeah, she owned a pub in Glasgow.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Yeah. I've never really spoken to her. I don't think.
Fantastic.
So I'm looking forward to doing the show with her. I'm looking forward to doing a show with her a lot. I think she's I think she's brilliant. Potty mouth though, very very potty mouth, and there's no need for that in today's society.
Yeah, I see you on Periscope, so I wouldn't. Bang on about you got a bit of a potty mouth sometimes, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I have a very potty mouth. But notice how I managed to kill.
She's the owner.
I just dumped it.
Yeah,
I just dumped it.
She's another fact. I know quite a bit about her because of the podcast. She's the only person that's had an apology from Ofcom. Is it really? That she didn't swear on the radio, and they said she did. So she's actually had an apology for
Has
him.
she really? Oh, good for her. Good for her.
But you just spoke about it. I had a couple of things.
Yes.
I think that the Olympics is because of track and field. The game is why you like the other sport.
Yeah, track and field and Daley Thompson's decathlon.
That's it.
Those are the two reasons. Tapping the button bashing.
Well, I broke a Kempston joystick with Daley Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, the number of Kempstons that got mangled just waggling it like that.
Oh dear me, the old days, eh? Kids, they won't know.
Kids don't know. They're born with their blooming Xbox. My boys, they're away, right? So I've not seen them since Monday morning. And they sent me a video today. My eldest is going, "Hello, Daddy. Today we saw some fish being caught, and then we ate them for our lunch, and we did this, and we did that, and we went to the beach, and now we're building a house for ants." My youngest looked at the camera and said, "Hello, Daddy. When we come back, can we play Lego Star Wars?"
That's
priority. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all he said to me. "Daddy, when we come back, can we play Lego Star Wars?"
Well, now you've got a favourite. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, I always have a favourite. You can't help but have a favourite, but it flips between the two.
I've a single child, so it's all right for me. I didn't have to choose.
You could still go off them, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You can still go off.
It's still number one in a field of one. I wanted to know if you wanted to play Quincy. I've got a Roland Opus thing, which is a question from a legal exam.
Yeah.
And it's quite funny. What I'll do is I'll read out a couple of paragraphs, then ask you what you think your verdict would be as Quincy.
Oh, yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
Right, so a medical examiner viewed the body of Roland Opus and concluded that he died from a gunshot wound to the head caused by a shotgun. Investigation to the point had revealed that the descendant, which is a new word to me, had jumped from the top of a 10-storey building with the intent to commit suicide. He left a note indicating his despondency. As he passed the 9th floor window, on the way down, his life was interrupted by a gunshot blast through the window, killing him instantly. So, at this stage, what do you think the coroner would have...
Well, hang on, are we coming up with a verdict, or are we saying death by misadventure?
Well, at the minute, it's like suicide or murder or death by misadventure.
It's manslaughter.
Right, okay. Neither the shooter nor the descendant were aware that the safety net had been erected on the 8th floor level to protect some window washers, and that the descendant would most likely not have been able to complete his intent to commit suicide because of this.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, a person who starts into motion the events with a suicide intent ultimately commit suicide, even though the mechanism might not be the way they intended.
Yes.
That he was shot on the way to certain death 9 stories below probably would not change his mode of death from suicide to homicide, but the fact that his suicide intent would not have been achieved.
Hang on a minute.
All right.
Was that your stomach?
No, my cat's purring, sorry.
Was the shootist aiming at him, or was it an accidental?
Next paragraph for that.
Okay, I'll flip it out. How many? Is it a book?
We got 3 more paragraphs.
Jeez.
So,
yes.
Right. So the fact that the suicide wouldn't have happened, that's the question.
Yeah.
Ordinarily, we read that bit. Further investigation.
Is this how long court cases actually go on for? Because I couldn't stand it in a jury.
No. So, like, literally, there's 3 bits left. So, I thought you were asking for calls, so I thought I'd bring this up.
Go. Just interesting ones. Go on.
Further investigation led to this discovery that the room on the 9th floor where the shotgun blast emanated was occupied by an elderly man and his wife. He was threatening her with his shotgun because of an interspousal spat, and became so upset that he could not hold the shotgun straight. Therefore, when he pulled the trigger, he completely missed his wife, and the pellets went through the window, striking the descendant. When one intends to kill a subject A, but kills subject B in an attempt, one is guilty of murder of subject B. Yeah?
Right.
So, it could be murder, yeah?
Yeah.
The old man was confronted with this conclusion, but both he and his wife were adamant in stating they neither knew the shotgun was loaded. It was the long-time habit of the old man to threaten his wife with an unloaded shotgun. He had no intent.
Romantic.
Yes, no intent to murder her. Therefore, the killing of the descendant appeared to then be accidental. That is, the gun had been accidentally loaded.
Homicide, manslaughter. I've said it. Is this American or English?
It is American.
Right. So what's manslaughter in America? It's like murder 3, is it?
Murder 2, and then murder.
Murder 2. All right. Yeah.
But further investigation.
Oh, for God's sakes!
Last but one paragraph.
All right.
Further investigation turned up a witness that said their son, the old people's son, was seen loading the shotgun approximately 6 weeks prior to the fatal accident. The investigation showed that the mother, the old lady, had cut off her son's financial support, and the son, knowing the propensity of his father to use the shotgun threateningly, loaded the gun with the expectation that the father would shoot his mother. So, now, who's to blame? Do you think?
Hang on a minute. Nobody. It's the guy who jumped out. It's the guy who jumped off the roof. Suicide.
Yeah. So what about the son who loaded the gun, expecting his father to shoot?
That's irrelevant to this.
In this thing, the case now becomes murder on the part of the son, right?
What?
But the kicker. The son who loaded the gun is murder for his thing.
Yeah.
Now comes the exquisite twist.
Is this what you do for fun, Craig?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Further investigation revealed that the son, Ronald Opus himself, had become increasingly despondent over the failure of his attempt to get his mother murdered.
What is the answer?
This led to him...
How many more paragraphs? And how long are these paragraphs?
This is the last sentence. This led to him to jump off the 10-storey building.
So it's the son.
Only to be killed by the shotgun blast on the 9th-storey window. So the final conclusion to the case,
Death by misadventure. It's suicide then.
Yeah. It was suicide.
Do you know what, Craig? I'm not going to sleep in Luton Airport tonight. I'm going to drive to Rhondda, and I'm going to find your house. I'm going to kick you right up your backside.
It's a good one, though, isn't it?
Oh, for crying out loud! Death by boredom. His dinner parties must be a lot of fun. Oh, man. Let's go to Mike. Mike, you've been waiting for ages. Sorry, mate.
No. Oh, how you doing, man?
I'm all right, Mike. What you got for us?
Oh, tons of things. I've been writing lists while listening to that story. That was it. Nigel from Maidstone. The remix of Nigel from Maidstone. That's
brilliant.
It's the apex of entertainment. I think everything should stop. Entertainment should stop because it's never going to get better than that.
It is. That's it. Music should close down. Bands, if you're in a band, sell your instruments, burn your instruments. The DCDJ has created a work of art. That's a pop. I could have a summer hit with that.
I think my brother just tweeted you saying you'd need to release that on iTunes. You've got to. And imagine how happy Nigel would be. How happy would all be?
Well, Mike, be honest. Nigel ain't going to be happy with anything. Whatever. Next time he phones in, we'll play it, right? But he's going to find a reason to hate. Well, it was all right, but there wasn't much of me in there. I couldn't really hear me. Here's the thing, though, right? And I'm just putting this out there, right? For the DCDJ, Dan. That's what he did with me doing a little bit on a radio show and Nigel on the phone. What could he create if he had me and Nigel actually in his studio?
That would involve you being in a room with Nigel.
Yeah, I could do it. It might get my mate Simon to come and film it from 3x3. Get him to come down and film it. Me and the DCDJ. I can't remember where you're based. But I would be well up for me and Nigel going to a studio, and recording a hit single and releasing it on iTunes. I'd be well up for that. And DCDJ, we split it 3 ways. Beautiful. I'm up for that.
Oh, please make that happen.
All right, I'm gonna see what I can do. Dan, if you're listening, I'm gonna see what I can do. I've got his email, so I'm gonna make that happen. This is what I'm going to be doing next week on my week off. He's recording a bloody song with Nigel and a bloke called Dan.
That will be worth it. Again, that will be this isn't the apex. That's going to be the apex of your career.
It might be worth it. It might be worth it. I'll get Simon down to film it. All right. Yeah. We'll make that happen. There we go.
I'm happy now. Going back to conspiracy theories, have you ever seen or heard of a book called Confessions of a Dangerous Mind?
Yeah. Well, how do I know? I know the title. I don't know if who wrote it.
Swell. It's an autobiography by an American TV called Chuck Barris, who I suppose was the.
Chuck Barris. He came up with the Gong Show.
Yes, and he did a show called The Dating Game.
Yeah, he's really famous, and I haven't read that, but it's supposed to be brilliant.
I have read the book. Just a very long time ago. And there's a sequel to it. No, but the first thing I got was a movie, 2002, directed by George Clooney. I think it was produced by Drew Barrymore and stars Sam Rockwell, who's one of my favourite actors, fantastic. And basically what the concept is it's his autobiography, but what he's saying is when he made The Dating Game, he was also a spook for the CIA who was killing people.
This is it. Right. Okay, indulge me. I'm going to buy it for a penny off Amazon, the book. The DVD I shall try and find online to watch that film. Yeah, it's supposed to be brilliant, isn't it?
It's really good, and I read. There was a lot more on the internet about it about 10 years ago. So he read that, but then apparently he was just a massive cokehead, and it could have always been a huge delusion.
Beautiful. Oh, well, is people on cocaine talking nonsense? He's at the height of his cocaine use. Stephen Stills from Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young and the Buffalo Springfield would brag to bandmates, friends, and interviews about his time serving in Vietnam and the number of people he killed and the buddies he lost and the medals he won. But he would say this to his friends and bandmates who all knew that Stephen Stills got rejected from the draft and never served in Vietnam. Never served in Vietnam, and he was never in the military. He might have been in the military a bit, but he never served in Vietnam. And he would just create these huge fantasies. Cocaine, guys, unless you're on it, right, everybody is boring. People on cocaine, and I would not recommend it. I've heard horrible things. I've seen horrible things. People on cocaine are the most boring, self-obsessed arses around.
They all get really into each other as well. I think it just gets, if you're not on it, and I have been tempted on where people having kind of rooms where people doing it, and you get so intense with each other. Just chill out a little bit.
I've been in rooms.
Relax.
I've been in rooms with people who are on cocaine. And you just sit there and you just watch. There's no point in trying to get a word in edgeways because you'll be speaking at this speed, right? You'll be speaking at normal speed. And that is way too slow for them. I left a pause there that they would have jumped in that pause. And no one's listening to each other. And they all think that what they're saying is the most important thing in the world. But then the next person has what's got the most important thing, and then they're not listening to each other. And it's also boring.
It's not for me. Have you started... Well, I'm really desperate to talk about this, but I don't want to ruin the end. Have you started watching Stranger Things yet?
Oh, for goodness sakes, everyone keeps going on. Every time I see a friend I've not seen for a while, first thing they say is, oh, have you seen Stranger Things? And I'm tempted not to watch it.
No. It's so good. This week at work, I've been wandering around the office.
You're the one who you gave me a spot. It was you, Mike.
I didn't know. It wasn't me. You mentioned this last week. It wasn't me. I am very careful of spoilers. I have many theories.
You told me that about the girl dumped.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. And that's a spoiler, isn't it?
Not really.
Well, not really means spoiler.
No, it's, as I said last week, it's about the journey.
Oh, well, you've ruined the journey.
I haven't, because that's not the journey. That's the key to the door. The journey's behind the door.
In what episode do you find out the thing I've just said to you?
Probably about 5 minutes into episode 1.
Oh, all right, fair play. By the way, the DC DJ, Dan, has said, Ian, I've got a studio in Hertfordshire. I'm up for it 100%. Let's make it happen.
Have you got a way to contact Nigel?
I've got a radio show.
We don't know if he listens. I'll find it. He's not on. He deleted his Twitter account after he tweeted you and Alex Jones his home phone number. I noticed.
And you mean Alex Jones, the Welsh girl from the One Show, don't you?
I can see why he did that. She's very beautiful. He might have many idiosyncrasies. Well, I get that. Fair enough. It's just a chance. You might.
He's with Nigel on Facebook, and I'll get in touch with him. We'll make this happen.
That's it. You've teased the nation now.
Yeah.
Well, very much looking forward to it. I've got one final thing I thought of, which I thought would be dead good.
Yeah.
No, it was a question. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit tired.
You and me both.
Man, that sleep in the car, that was going to be rough.
Oh,
I've slept in an airport before, and it was Leeds Bradford. It was dead tired. It shuts down. It shut down. I said, no, that was awful. The only plus side was in the morning, I got a full breakfast, looked at the price, thought, rubbish, I can't afford this. So I ate everything apart from the beans. And they went, have you just got beans? I went, yes.
Oh, classy. No, Mike, I like your stuff. Yes, I'm going to move on because I'm been late for every ad break this week. Yeah, the sleep in the car is going to be that's going to be unpleasant. Things I do for my art. Oh, 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call. Rachel!
Hi.
Hello, Rachel. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous. First time I've ever done something like this.
Oh, well, yeah, it's just a phone call. But me saying that isn't going to make you any less nervous, so, what have you called in for?
A subject which always totally annoys me.
Yeah.
Because it just drives me to madness. I even wrote a dissertation on this subject in my university degree. I just want to ask a question, really. Do you think drugs should be illegal?
What?
Do you think drugs should be illegal? Illegal.
I don't really care either way, but I come down on the side of no.
And why would you say that? Or why would anybody say that, do you think?
Why would anybody say what?
That drugs should be illegal. Why?
I didn't say drugs should be illegal.
No, but I'm talking, generally people do say,
yeah.
No, drugs should be illegal. Drugs, oh no, bad.
Right, well, I don't know.
It's just that nobody can ever answer that question. They always say something like...
because drugs make you really boring. People who are on coke and smoke a load of weed are really boring. That's why they should be illegal. Really dull, boring, self-obsessed people who talk nonsense for hours on end. That's why it should be illegal.
Totally, and that's totally right. But you could say the same about alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. Ban it. Boring people.
But
I think all things that alter your consciousness should be banned because it turns you into a really boring person.
Oh, come on! I just want to. It's really serious.
I'm being serious. I know people. I've seen people on coke. Boring. I've seen people on smoking weed. Boring. I've been in the company of drunk people. Boring. I've seen people on LSD. But generally, drugs and booze make you boring.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I think, right? But when you talk about boring on cocaine, but against boring on alcohol.
No, you're not, Rachel, you're not listening. I'm saying, yes, drugs should be illegal because it makes you boring. We should also ban alcohol because it makes you boring.
Yeah, definitely. But I was just saying, generally, when they're always talking about this subject, like on TV, they're always coming out with these reasons, but no one ever answers. But whatever you're saying now, you can say about alcohol.
Yeah, I know, and I
don't drink.
I am saying it about alcohol.
And I don't drink. So it really gets, because I believe that drugs should be legal. They should be legal. But if you...
Are you on drugs now?
No, I'm just a bit nervous.
Okay. But I mean, it's a boring conversation.
Well, it could be more interesting.
How? If we were all on drugs?
But don't you think it's like someone really should sit up and talk about this seriously and say, this is stupid? We should legalise it.
Yeah, but people have people. I interviewed Baroness Meacher. Do you know who she is?
I've heard of her.
She sits in the House of Lords, and she did a long investigation into the effects of cannabis and a detailed report into whether cannabis should be made illegal or remain illegal. She came to the conclusion, after extensive research, that cannabis should be made legal, and it presented very little harm, apart from some exceptions, presented very little harm to people. She presented that to the government, and she was ignored. So if she's ignored, right, then what good is it a bunch of stoners going to do? The thing is, now we will get a bunch of stoners phoning in who can't even string a sentence together. That's the public face of weed, is boring stoners.
Oh, you're right, so right, but it just gets my back up that they use this against making it legal, a serious argument.
Do you like using drugs?
I used to do in the past, but I believe they're dangerous, and you should be totally taught. If I'd have known everything I knew about drugs before I did them, I would never have done them in the first place.
Right. So
you just don't get
So why don't
you don't get the education?
Yeah, you do. We had drug education at school in the 80s.
Yeah, but you never saw, like, an addict. You never saw him, like...
Well, they weren't going to parade an addict in, too. But so you don't use drugs, right? So why are you bothered about it? Just let it go.
Because he's like, I know a lot of people who suffer.
From what?
And from the situation of it being illegal.
What, how do you mean they suffer from the situation of it being illegal? What does that mean?
Like, they've gone into prison, they've been caught and they've been, like, sent to prison. So they've lost a few years of their life.
Yeah, well, they've broken, just for doing something, but they've done something that is illegal. Now, whether you agree with it being illegal or not, they've done something illegal. And also, to go to prison for drugs, they must have been doing more than, just having a few joints in their back pocket.
Oh, yeah, they were totally, like, loads of drug stuff around, everything, it was just, they were total druggies.
Right.
But all they're guilty of is breaking a law that shouldn't even be a law in the first place.
Well, but that's not for you to decide. That's not for them to decide. That is the law. And if they are addicts, then they are medically ill. But one of the consequences of that disease of addiction is you end up breaking the law by using drugs.
Yes, but you don't get the help that you need properly. For one thing, the stigma connected to drugs.
Yeah,
everyone immediately thinks bad things. They think you're almost evil or something.
Well,
I mean, they used to advertise in America that if you smoke a joint, it'll turn black men into rapists who go rape white women.
Yes. But weed is legal in a lot of the states now.
Yeah, I'm just using that as like a general argument for all drugs. They say that, I've been.
But you can't compare smoking dope to cocaine, to ecstasy, to LSD, to heroin. They're all different.
But none of them make you violent. Not really. You know what I mean?
Cocaine can. You must have seen someone in a cocaine rage.
Yeah, it can make you like that, definitely.
Yeah, and it can kill, and it can kill you.
And that's on the extreme side, yes.
Yeah.
But We can say the same about alcohol.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, the alcohol argument is irrelevant to the drugs being legalised argument. The alcohol argument's got nothing to do with it. It's a separate thing. You could say the thing about driving a car into a brick wall. You can say the same thing about jumping out of a building. The alcohol thing is separate. So by keep saying, oh, but you could say the same about alcohol, well, you know, alcohol has been legal for hundreds of years and drugs haven't. So it's a separate thing.
Drugs have only been illegal since 1924.
Okay, well, that's nearly 100 years.
But why were they made illegal in the first place?
I've got absolutely no idea, because I find it quite boring.
But the fact is, but all these people are being, you know, they're in prison. Most people in prison are there for drug offences. Same in America. You know, it's tough to get a good rehab.
Yeah, I agree with that. There should be more done to help people. But then you'll know that people who are addicts will only get help when they want to get help. You can't make an addict get better.
Well, the thing is about drugs, you like them so much, you don't really want the help, but you need the help, and it's hard to tell yourself that you should stop. You know you should stop,
Yeah.
but it's damn hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so taking that into context, when they're thinking about whether a drug should be legal or illegal, if it was legal, you could get help more readily. People wouldn't look down on you when you needed
you can get help readily now, even though drugs are illegal, in as much as you can go to your doctors, you can go to the hospital, you can go to Narcotics Anonymous, you can go to drug centres. So help is out there. It's not like you have to whisper and go, I'm a drug addict, I need a bit of help. You can get help.
Yeah, but when you go to these places like the doctors, the hospital, you are looked down on, and you do get treated differently. I've heard comments from lots of people.
Well, yeah, sometimes, but not always. I've heard, you know, different comments from people. Something, you know, it just depends.
I've met some great people who really treated me nice. But there are a lot of times when it is the opposite, and you get treated very badly.
So are you saying, Rachel, that you were a drug addict?
I was, yes, years ago.
What were you addicted to?
I was addicted to heroin.
There we go. Now there's a drug, huh?
Well, it's not really. It's like, it's on its own. They've said you can take heroin for the rest of your life, and it has no really adverse effects.
Yeah, but that's nonsense, though. That's nonsense. Here's the thing, right? A drug where the first time you take it, you puke up everywhere. Nah, that doesn't sound like a good drug to me.
Well, so I'll say it again. When I had alcohol for the first time.
Yeah, but you can't keep using the alcohol thing. The alcohol thing is separate, right? Well, when I first drank alcohol, I didn't puke up. But I know that when the first time you use heroin, you puke up everywhere. That's, you know.
Yeah, but all I'm trying
and heroin, and you can't, and also, Rachel, you can't come on here and say, you can come on here, you can keep using heroin for the rest of your life safely. Well, no, you can't, because it can kill you.
Yes, but I'm talking about if it was from the doctors, if it was like medically pure.
Oh, if you got the pure stuff, yeah, because no one dies of the pure stuff, do they?
But because it's like illegal, it gets mixed with lots of shit.
Yeah, all right, but the thing is, the pure stuff can kill you as well. Because the pure stuff, here's the thing, the pure stuff is so good, right, and so nice, and such a high that you take even more of it, and then it kills you.
Yeah, but I'm talking about your attitude now when you're talking about it's so nice, it's so as if like I don't know what the word is.
Why do you think people keep wanting to do heroin? Because they love it. To start with, well, after they've puked up and their body's got used to it, they love it. They love having that velvety brown blanket draped over their shoulders as they stay standing on their feet and slump forward.
No, they don't love it, and I'm not experienced. You don't love it.
People love it.
You need it.
No, you need it eventually, but there is that bit in the middle of the drug journey when you love it. It may not happen to you, but it happens to other people.
Yeah, you do get like that, but it's just like anything. You can enjoy it, you know what I mean? It's just getting high, and there's nothing...
There's a difference between just getting high on a joint and just getting high by jacking up or smoking some heroin.
Why is there? Why is this...
Well, because one is a lot more dangerous than the other. And if you are a former heroin addict and you can't see the difference between a joint and injecting heroin into your veins, then
Now, obviously, I can see the difference, definitely.
Right.
But that's like, you can take it, if you wanted to, you could be very safe about it, couldn't you? But there will be accidents, obviously.
There'll be accidents. There'll be accidents. Of course there will. It's only heroin. Of course there's going to be accidents.
But it's the same in anything in life. It can be dangerous.
You're right, actually. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And it's just the way you say the heroin, the word, the name conjures up loads of negative feelings.
Yeah, because it kills people and it robs people of their motivation and their soul. It steals people's souls.
And that's bad, but what I'm saying, yes, and it should be not taken. You shouldn't take it because it is those things.
Right, then why do you want it legal?
Because I want people to be like, no, it's a choice to take or not, and you get like...
Right, if heroin was legal, would you go back on it?
No, but you could talk to people, like, more openly, and people, youngsters would be able to say, I've done heroin, and...
I would like to think that my boys, if they ever were to do that, would be able to talk to me about it. That's a parenting thing. And you can go to the doctors, if you've got a good doctor, or a drop-in centre, or a drug clinic, or an NA meeting, and say, I've done heroin, and I'd like to stop now, please. Can you help?
Believe me, it's very hard to say that and do that.
I know it is.
Especially to your parents.
Yeah, I know
because there is, and it's the stigma because of this. That people look down. You're dirty if you do heroin.
Yeah, I know.
Rachel, you get all these
Rachel,
they
listen.
shouldn't be involved in the argument.
Rachel, listen. I have to go. That wasn't bad for a first time, was it?
But you see what I was saying?
Did it make you throw up? No. Will you be coming back for more? Yes. Rachel, thank you very much. 0844 499 1000. Andrew and Triss, stay there. Come to you after this.
Talk Radio.
Oh man, I'm hungry. Did we almost do the should drugs be legalised phone in? No. But it's conversation. And, people can phone in with anything. I enjoyed that. Thank you. I hope you'll call again. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
That's
a hit.
That is a hit. It's got a hit written all over it.
Well, it's got something
It's gonna be
rhyming
there
with
again. No.
hit written
All
over
right, I see what you're doing there. You're trying to be funny and clever. Don't suit you. Want to take some calls with me?
Yeah.
Say hello to Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Hip, 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 Iain and Katherine.
Hello. I'm sorry you've been on the phone for ages. Not my
Don't worry
fault.
about it,
Totally
it's fine.
his.
Totally my fault, guys. I've been enjoying the vibe.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah. What you got for us, Andrew?
Basically, it's something to do as a riff on your Iain Lee versus radio. I was going to do Andrew versus TV.
Oh, go on then. I like this.
It's I was a media. 1998. I was a media buyer for 6 weeks. I was 26 years old.
A media buyer.
Media buyer is that you sell advertising.
I would have thought you
buy advertising.
You bought
space.
it. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So went for the interview, got the interview, but during the interview they ask you, well, where should you put, an advert for BMW? So I said, Coronation Street, News at 10.
Yeah.
They said, okay, what you don't do is this. And he told me the funniest or unfunniest story.
Yeah.
Someone in 1996, for the first transmission of Schindler's List, I think I've told you this probably on Twitter, they put an advert for British Gas. Which caused an enormous furore at the time. It was 96. And they were told, if you do anything, don't do that.
Don't put adverts for British Gas on during Schindler's List.
Oh, no.
Wowzers.
And it went through, and ITV paid for it. Yeah. I mean, British Gas paid for it, but ITV approved it.
Wowzers. That is...
And what was the other one? The other one was Peter Sutcliffe. I know the random story, but Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, has now been deemed bad, not mad.
Yeah.
So he's going to prison rather than been in Broadmoor. But him and Ian Brady have been claiming income support ever since they were both locked up in Rampton or Broadmoor.
Yes.
Because they're hospitals. Because they're hospitals, they're entitled to claim income support. They're not entitled to do that in prisons.
Wow. Is Ian Brady's dead, isn't he?
Not yet, no.
Is he not dead?
No, still.
I thought he was dead.
He wants to be, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Sutcliffe doesn't. He wants to be back in Broadmoor, but he's not going to be.
While we're doing the tangents, did you hear the one about the judge who
gave the C word?
Yeah, the bloke. You sentenced this bloke who sounds like a right little scally, and he said to the judge, "You're a bit of a C word," and she went, "Yeah, well, you're a bit of a C word too."
And he said, "F you." She said, "You too."
Yeah, I think it's funny.
So do I.
I think it's inappropriate. I don't think she should have done it. I do. First time I heard the story, right? I heard it at lunchtime today, and I went, "Oh yeah, oh that's brilliant, good." And then I carried on with the day. Then I heard the story as I was driving into work again, and I thought, "Oh." And they had it was on. I heard it on PM on Radio 4.
He was a real pain as well. Did you hear he was doing like Nazi salutes?
Oh
and
yeah. But they had a judge on, and on PM, and they were just saying the judges in the past have been, have lost their temper and have got angry and stuff. But it is up to them to set an example and to be not emotionless, but to be able to separate themselves, to show restraint. And I think it's funny that she did it. I think it's wrong that she did it, though. I don't think she should have done it. I think it's inappropriate.
No, I did jury service, and they had a trial, and one of the witnesses used the F word, and you had a very, very posh judge. I mean, received pronunciation to the nth degree, and he then said the F word back, and it was hilarious because of the way he was saying it.
But he was saying it as in almost like quoting the gentleman back. Yeah, and that's fine. And I think that witnesses should be allowed to swear and stuff if it's, if it helps them give the evidence, if it helps them tell the story or they're quoting people and stuff. And in that instance, but I think the judge calling the bloke a C word, I think that actually now I said it like that, it's completely out of order.
I retweeted it yesterday because I thought it was hilarious. But the guy was an animal, and you shouldn't stoop to it.
No.
He was. He was telling people, Jews should go to the gas chamber and all kinds of nasty things.
Oh, it's thoroughly unpleasant. So she should have been even better.
Make him look even more of a moron.
Yeah.
She should, because you're, it's the majesty of the crown, and you're in a court of law, and you are supposed to be above and beyond that. So I sort of understand it. Yeah.
This is it. This is the reason why they wear uniform. That's why they wear wigs, because they are not themselves. They are acting on behalf of the law of the land, aren't they? It's sort of, they've got to be bigger than a human, almost, for that moment. They're acting on behalf of the Queen.
Yeah, they are, and I think they don't. She shouldn't have done it, but I did. I agree with both of you that I laughed quite heartily when I first read it, because I thought, good on her to say that. But saying the C word back when it's not in context.
Yeah,
it's just basically sticking two fingers back up to someone is not really.
What she should have done is what I do when I'm driving past someone I don't like. Is I hold my middle finger up, but I hold it up where they can't see it. She should have done that under.
You do not.
Oh,
you
sorry.
show them.
I do show them, but sometimes there was a guy today who's an arse, and I just as I drove past, I had the finger up, but he couldn't see it. But it made me feel better. She should have done that under been flicking in the V's under
the cowardly bird.
Yeah.
Don't you do the coffee bean?
Yeah, sometimes I do the coffee beans. I did the coffee beans today actually on the way in because the guy was driving like an idiot.
No one does two fingers anymore. It's very 1970s.
Yeah, well, yes, well, that's the kind of guy I am, Andrew. Yeah, she was wrong to say it. Completely wrong. Now I've said it out loud. Of course she was wrong to say it.
You know
completely
why?
Inappropriate.
Because it's the sort of thing that you and I would do.
I wouldn't do it.
I would. I find myself doing ridiculous things sometimes, and then it feels good in the moment I'm doing it, and then afterwards I think, oh, Catherine, why did you say that?
Well, you say it to me.
Well, only in retaliation.
No,
I never use a C word, very rarely. Only when quoting.
Let's go.
But I hate it, it's horrible, isn't it?
Let's go to Katia.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour.
Bonjour, bonjour. Hello, hello.
Pampon,
Pampon.
Okay, I had a really interesting day today.
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
Right, okay. I think I had an interesting day.
You tell us, Katia.
Right. Okay, so I decided, let's listen to Russell's show.
Oh, good.
Oh, Russell's show, yes.
Yes. So, he plays AC/DC, Thunderstruck. Well, that's lovely. Then he goes to Paradise City. Lovely.
Take me down to Paradise City where the grass is green and they got big titties. Whoa, won't you? Is that not it?
No.
What is it?
Girls are pretty.
Hey. Oh, won't you please take me down?
Axl Rose ends all his songs like this.
It's like he's just trod on Lego.
Yeah.
Here's a good song that doesn't get played very often. Love in an elevator. Living it up when you're going down. Yeah. It's confusing because living it up and going down both sound like directions in a lift, but then neither of them are directions in the lift. So the implication is the lift is stationary, but he's having sexual intercourse in a lift.
Oh, wow.
But while it's stationary, that door could swing open at any moment. So what basically Steve Tyler is saying is, I don't take long to ejaculate. That's what he's saying, isn't it? And that as an advert for a sexual prowess is not particularly a good advert. Really.
Yeah.
Have sex with me. It won't take long and we'll be over before the lift opens again.
Used to be my favourite band. But
I'll tell you, here's an Aerosmith song I like.
He's a funny-looking fella, but he certainly is successful with the ladies.
Yeah, he is. It's The Lips.
No.
Him and Jagger.
Oh, no.
Here's a good song they did. But I don't know how it goes.
Dream On.
No, you Dream On.
Dream On is good.
You Dream On. Oh, it's a song. So I'm so sorry. I thought you were being rude. Pink.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Why?
Pink's a great song.
Now.
Pink, now. Pink, now. Pink, bang.
The worst one. Oh, come on. Anyway,
they did another. Hang on a second. No, we're on a roll here.
Steve Tyler's mind is always on the lay days.
Have you? They're in the Sergeant Pepper movie.
Ooh, Aerosmith.
Yeah, they do. They have a fight with the Bee Gees. I think, if I've got this right, it's so long since I watched it, and I really struggled to sit all the way through it. They have a fight with the Bee Gees
Oh, a lot of hair
while
pulling.
singing, and Peter Frampton while singing "Come Together," which isn't even on Sgt. Pepper's.
The irony.
Walk This Way. Jamie's got a gun.
Yeah.
I want to find. What's the one I'm thinking of?
Oh, do you know what the one I hate?
Yeah.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Terrible,
I don't
yeah.
want to go to sleep. I think you better.
No, that's
I hate that song.
terrible.
I still miss you, baby.
Babe,
Cause I don't want to miss a thing. Cause even when I dream of you.
Don't let the sun go down on me. Yeah.
Basically, after 92, Aerosmith is not good.
Hang
and
on a
you're
second.
only singing after
Hang on.
92 songs.
Hang on a second. I'm
It's
trying.
because I'm very young.
very
young.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
Hang on, no, hang on a second. Oh no, that's the song. Ed, there's a phone call. Falling in love is hard on the knees.
What?
Do you not remember that one?
Is that real?
That's a real one. That was a great song.
That sounds like the sort of song that you'd make up.
No, falling in love is hard on the knees. It's like a sort of joke. That is a good one, Katia. Even you'd have to. Here we go. Hang on. Here we go. Let's have a listen to this. Falling in love is hard on the knees.
That's why the women love him. He's hilarious.
Thank you.
No.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. What's going on with the internet tonight? I want to play this song. Don't worry, Katia. We've got to skip the advert.
Oh, this guy.
In 7, 6, 5. Come on in.
Can I play mine instead?
No. Hang on a second. Yeah,
We'll get to your point.
We'll get to your point.
No.
Katia.
We're not gonna.
T'es trop impatient.
Attends, pom. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Right, here it comes. Falling in love is hard on the... Alright, we've got to wait for it to stream.
Okay, I'm going to search for it.
You know it?
What? But
I thought you liked rock music.
I stopped listening to them in the 90s.
I stopped listening to you about that time as well. Here we go.
That's when you started following Heart.
Here we go. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Let's get to the... There's a gimp in a box there. Hang on.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah, well... The internet's going really slowly tonight for some reason.
Okay, let's listen to my song.
Okay, go on then.
Okay, so I hear this on Russell's show. Listen. What is it?
The A-Team team.
What? Okay, really quiet. That's fine for hospital radio, isn't it?
What?
No, it's going to kick off.
Yes, that's one by Metallica. One by Metallica. By Seven.
Which one by Metallica?
The name of the song.
Which one by Metallica?
One.
Which one?
Can we be a bit more specific?
Okay, and listen, it's an amazing song, an epic song about a guy.
This is great.
Oh, this is actually a tune. Oh.
Falling in love, hard on the knees. We was making love when you told me that you love me. Yeah. I thought old Cupid, he was.
He looks a bit like Carly Simon, doesn't he?
Yep.
I was believer when you told me that you love me. Oh. And then you called me someone else's name.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
There ain't gonna be no more begging your please. You know what I want and it ain't what I need. Your bed to the bone and your girlfriend agrees. But falling in love is so hard on me.
That's a song, Katya.
That's awful.
Oh no, that's great.
Awful.
We disagree.
Did we get to the point of your phone call?
436.
Thank you very much. Yes, Ray.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip.
What you got for us, Ray?
That's what I was going to ask you. You were talking about your kids earlier on, your two sons.
Yes.
Your elder one, you used to refer to him as Astro Boy.
Yes.
What's the younger one called?
Space Boy.
Space Boy?
The Astro Boy and Space Boy, yes.
Oh, jolly good. And the other thing I remember about Astro Boy was you used to have this recording of him going, Lego, Lego, Lego. Do you still have that?
Oh, that's... Ligo, Ligo, Ligo is Greek for round and round and round.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Because it was just him going, Ligo, 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 Ligo.
Yeah, I did. I will have it somewhere, but it won't be labelled, so it would be impossible to find it. But I do have my newest son saying...
Ooga zaga, ooga zaga, ooga zaga, ooga zaga, ooga zaga, ooga
Wait for the end, wait for the end.
Ooga
Wait for the end.
zaga, ooga zaga.
There we go.
And what does that mean in Greek?
That's
Hooked on the feeling.
That's the beginning of hooked on the feeling. Ooga jaga, ooga.
I know.
Oh, sorry, you were doing
a joke.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Right,
You're
it won't
doing
happen
a piece.
again.
I don't know if you got the memo, Kath. I did the funny bits.
I got your memo.
And if you have any funny bits, you pass them over to me. And ow!
Did you get that delivery?
Did you get that delivery? Special delivery from Ms. Boyle. Where do you want these? Did we deliver it round the back? Oh, I mean, it sounded that rude as it did. Ray.
Yes. Do you still practice Greek?
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
I couldn't
because
even
remember
say
you
no
used
to you. I couldn't even say no to you in Greek then, which is oiki.
Oiki.
Or is that yes?
No. Ne is yes.
Yeah, okay. No, I don't.
Oh, right, because I remember you used to wind up Eloise by practising in the studio. I thought, why don't you do the same with Kath?
Well, Kath
Because I can speak a bit
Kath
Greek.
speaks all the languages in the world. Yeah, yeah, she's fluent.
Do you want to hear some Greek?
Oh, don't speak foreign, Kath.
Θέλω να αλλάξω 100 λίρες παρακαλώ.
Oh, dear.
I'd like to
I
change
don't know what that
£100,
is, but it
please.
sounds
You don't need it anymore because now they're in the euro.
Yeah.
But that's the phrase I know.
Yeah. Me and languages don't get on. I could still get by in Japan if I had to. But otherwise, no, me and languages, Ray, apart from the English language, which I am the master, the foreign languages, I struggle with, and I did very badly.
I think you'll find the only phrase you need to get by in Japan is keiki arimasu ka? Is there any cake?
But I do try, when I go abroad, I'll always have a guidebook with me that's got the phrases in the back, and I'll always whip out a few phrases.
They love it.
Yeah. And I'll make sure I know the hellos and the goodbyes and the thank yous and the pleases.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm feeling brave, I will go into the coffee shop with the book and I will ask for a coffee in whatever language it's there.
Mm.
Do you remember
what used to annoy me about language lessons was that you'd always learn useless phrases like the book is on the table.
Yeah, but it's I used to think that until I started learning Greek and then and then Japanese, or Japanese first and then Greek is that then helps. But that once you've got those, then you can construct the sentences that you need.
Yeah, but he's got a point in that. I remember learning when I was about 14, learning French and learning how to get them to fill your petrol tank up. I mean, for God's sake, why does a 14-year-old need that?
Did your parents speak French?
No, not
Thank
really.
you very much indeed. That's so you can show off in front of your mum and dad.
Well, actually, that did help.
But also, it would be useful for when you got a bit older to ask a Frenchman to put a hose in.
To fill it up.
Yeah.
I never did that.
€20 worth, please. What were you going to say? Hang on, what were you going to say, Kath? You were going to say something?
I was going to say, do you remember when we went to Bratislava?
Yes.
And we had a little go with the language there.
Did we try and did I try and
Yeah, you
speak
did. You did a bit.
Was that good? Okay. But I have a go.
Yeah, you do. And they love that. They find it charming.
Yeah. And we had a row with some taxi drivers.
Those taxi drivers were horrible, weren't they?
They were thugs. I think I'm glad we didn't get in there because we would have been.
The people at the radio station were lovely and couldn't do enough for us.
Yeah.
But outside the building, we were the enemy.
Yeah, there was a bit of that. The people in when we went and had a hot apple juice, that was nice.
Yeah,
They were
really
nice
good.
in there.
Anyway, memory lane.
Memory lane. Ray, thank you for that. Simon.
Hip hip hip.
Hip hip hip. Simon, what you got for us, boss?
As you know, I'm quite a world famous music producer and manager.
Oh yeah, of course. What's your bloke's name? Newton Cobblers.
I'm just calling as Nigel's representative.
Oh,
hang on a minute.
Hang on a second. Yes.
You have to come through me, I'm afraid, if you want to do any booking.
of Mr. Nigel.
Well, all right. How much is Nigel going to cost them for a session?
What do you want to do to him?
I want him and me and Dan, DCDJ, to collaborate in the studio and lay down a couple of tracks.
Okay, you need travel expenses and a couple of orange juice.
Well, hang on. Who's going to pay my travel expenses?
Well, you're wanting him.
Oh, I tell you what then. We won't have him. Playing tough ball, hardball. This is hardball.
Don't call it tough ball then.
No, it's tough ball.
The thing is, you're using his name, which is copyright. Nigel from Maidstone.
Now it'll just be me then. I'll just go in the studio with DCDJ, and we'll. In fact, that makes it better. We'll just split the money 50-50 instead of 33, and 33 actually. Yes, yeah. So it's fine.
It's people like you what are putting out creativity across the UK.
Wow.
You know, you were speaking about it yesterday, weren't you? About how
that's
paying for museums, etc.
Yeah.
It's killing
now
art.
You're just adding to it. You're killing art.
Yeah, you're killing it.
Well, then Simon, let the haggling begin. Come on, then, give us a deal on. Have you spoken to Nigel, by the way?
Have you though?
He's on the next line. Say hello to Nigel.
Hi Nigel, how you doing?
He's not there, but you were totally busted then, mate.
Well, you haven't spoke to him, so I guess...
Simon, I've got to stop you there, because Dennis, for some reason, has got a CAC phone that means he has to pay for the phone call. Yes, Dennis?
Good morning.
What is wrong with your phone? Why won't your phone accept anonymous numbers?
Because a lot of people trying to sell me things. They think because I'm old, I'm bloody dumb, but so they try to sell me, so I've stopped them doing it.
Young, dumb and full of fun.
That's right. Anyway, language.
Timothy.
In Singapore, little Chinese lads running alongside me, holding my fingers, trying to sell me bananas, and I said, "Mo Chin, no money."
Well, hang on. What was a Chinese lad doing in Singapore?
Yeah, well, they live there, don't they?
Do they?
There's plenty of Chinese there.
The Chinese live
he
in Singapore?
He was trying to earn a few... Anyway, I said, "Mo Chin, no money."
Mo Chin.
He said, "Neo Chin, you plenty money." And then he turned around, little sod, and said to me, "You Hong Kong Chinese." I'd been in Hong Kong. That's I learned the language. So there must be not one language borrower, but
accents.
Definitely difference in tone and everything. I wasn't speaking Mandarin.
Have you got any money, Dennis, that you can give me?
No.
Well, we'll end that phone call then. Simon.
Hello.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, what I was calling up about, I've just been shopping to Tesco's.
What, at night?
Well, yeah, it's 24 hours.
Do you know that if you go at night, then you're probably open to offers?
No, it doesn't mean that. You're obsessed with this. She thinks if you go to Tesco's at night time, you're it means it's like sex slang, and it's not at all. You've totally got this wrong.
Did you have a melon in your basket?
Oh, for God!
It was very quiet, but I had a
some
trolley.
pizza breads.
I had a trolley.
Chocolate finger.
It's very annoying because they're actually filling up the aisles, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you can't put your trolley down there.
Well, how narrow are the aisles?
They were kind of blocking the aisles because they had them big trolley things filling up the shelf, so I couldn't actually get down the aisles.
What did you want? A few bits and bops?
A big shop, basically. I got paid today, so I just wanted to go out there and get my weekly shopping.
I cooked myself a steak today. Here's the thing, right? I'm going to say something that's disgusting, right? But this is real life, real London. Leicester Square, proper busy. Cooked a steak today, beautiful steak from Waitrose, beautiful, and cooked it, put it on the plate, went into the living room, put it on the table in the living room.
Dog licked it.
Realised I'd forgotten something, went back to the kitchen to get my cutlery, came back and it was on the floor and the dog was licking it. Now,
give it a wash.
I told her off.
I bet you had it.
I had it, yeah, of course I did. I wasn't going to waste it. It was a beautiful steak from Waitrose. I wasn't going to waste it. And it hadn't been, there were no teeth marks in it. There was none of it missing. She'd had it in her mouth and she dragged it a bit across the floor, if I'm honest. It travelled a distance. But I ate that. Am I ill? Am I sick?
Well,
might be sick.
Define
Not
sick.
yet.
No, but I'm fine.
Basically snogged your dog.
I had a little bit of a runny bottom earlier on. But
could get worms.
Or puppies.
Oh, for crying out loud! Just grow up. You would have done the same.
I wouldn't.
Oh, come on! Be honest.
Kids, yes. Dogs, no. Kids can't lick their own bottoms yet.
Dogs don't lick their own bottoms. That's cats.
Well,
So
they lick other dogs' bottoms.
they don't lick them; they sniff them. So your argument is just being shot down in flames, love.
I don't know my doggy etiquette, do I? My doggy.
The etiquette is you. I'm going to end it there before we get in racist trouble. If anybody wants to phone up and explain doggy etiquette to...
Doggy, not dogging.
Yeah, I'm saying doggy makes it worse.
Oh, yeah, it
That's what I was thinking. So the doggy etiquette... 0844 499 1000. I think a thumbs up every now and then is the least
What?
we can do.
All right.
No, Darren!
Hello.
Hello, Darren. Sorry, you've joined Katherine at her mucky moment.
That's all right. Well, your dog was licking the Waitrose steak, so, you know, if it was from Tesco, it probably wouldn't...
It wouldn't have touched it. I bought it. It was a nice, expensive bit of steak, and I wolfed it down. It was beautiful. Absolutely.
It wasn't a basic. It wasn't a Waitrose basic.
The essentials, yeah.
It was. I think it was from the Duchy of Cornwall.
Oh, blimey.
I think so. Yeah.
Gosh.
I think so. It's thick, really thick steak. Beautiful. Loved it.
Don't you love Waitrose essentials? Because they'll do Waitrose essential brioche, because that's something you desperately need.
I don't really know Waitrose range that much.
They have essential.
I just go to whichever supermarket is the one that's nearest to where I am at that moment.
Certain supermarkets are better for meat.
You know when the dog runs across the floor trying to scratch its bum?
Yes.
Yeah, that's worms.
Well, no, but imagine the steak underneath that, and it's...
Oh, for God's sake.
yeah,
But it
you're
wasn't, though. All she did was she grabbed it in her mouth from the
You
plate.
don't know that.
Pulled it across... No, I do know. I know my dog's bum. I had it, and it was beautiful. Absolutely. And you... Darren, don't give me this. You would have done exactly the same thing. You know it.
I don't buy steak from Waitrose, if you don't mind.
Yeah, any steak. If your dog had had that on the floor, right, and there were no teeth marks in it, you'd have had it.
I don't think so. I'm sorry. That dog. You don't know what that dog has done to that little piece of meat that you've, you bought from Waitrose.
Yep.
You know what he's done? So it's,
she made it all the more delicious with her own sauces.
Big old skid.
Is that all you've called in for, Darren? To insult my lunch?
No, it isn't. No,
I'll insult your face with my fist in a minute.
Oh, calm down now. Come on.
No, what it was, I wanted to just ask a question to your listeners.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, please do, mate.
Right, so, back, when I was about, say, 12, whatever...
God, sorry, we've had a tweet from Eddie. Doggy etiquette. If the window is down, the doggy can only lick the steak. But it is doggy, not dogging, is what... Sorry, Darren, are we keeping you up?
Yeah, no, just there's a bale of hay just blowing... Sorry. No, what's that, right?
A bale of hay?
He means a tumbleweed.
I know he does.
I
know he does. But flipping heck.
Tumbleweed.
Go on.
Yeah, anyway, all I wanted to ask, right, I went into a church when I was about 12, right, and the women were all dressed in white clothes, and they wore hats, and they were playing music, etc., and one of the women went into some sort of possession thing, and she's throwing herself about and all that. And
what church was this?
So this is my question, right? I don't know what type of
Pentecostal.
Religion. Anyway, she grabbed me. She ended up like throwing all the chairs about and all that, and she ended up grabbing me by the arm, and then someone sort of grabbed a pen, paper, started writing it all down. I was freaking out, proper freaking out, and I just wanted to know what religion that is.
Wait, what was she saying?
Well, she wasn't talking English.
Talking
somebody
in tongues.
was writing it down. But somebody was writing it down, and they give me the bit of paper afterwards, but I ripped it up and threw it away because I was like freaked out.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know what religion that is. Because it's proper frightened me.
What were you doing there?
Well, we was at the door, and they play. They went there every Sunday, and you could see them like I said, the women wearing the white cloaks and the hats, like they sort of look like sort of chef hat kind of things for the women, right? And we was at the door, and they goes, "Well, you can come in, but take your shoes off." Yeah. So we took our shoes off, went in there, and there's like a sort of band up on the altar, and they're all sort of singing, and it's all kind of nice vibe, and there's people just sort of swaying about, and then just one of them just started freaking, and then everyone cleared, and then chairs got knocked over, and we was all moving back, and then she sort of grabbed me, kind of thing, wouldn't let go, and then they were trying to prise her fingers off my arm, and also someone started writing down, she was just babbling loads of stuff, right, and they wrote it down, and for the life of me, I wish I'd never ripped that paper up, because I was just so scared.
Did you not? Hang on a minute. You didn't read it?
No, I didn't. But they said to me, right? No, but they said one of them said to me, they goes, what's she saying? She goes, oh, there's a spirit up there, and you don't go to church, and they're angry and all that. But they wrote down this stuff on A4 paper, and that totally freaked me out.
Well,
completely.
Well, yeah, but it sounds like that's a bit of a cruel thing to do to kids.
Sounds like they were trying to frighten you into joining them.
Yeah.
No, but I genuinely, it's a genuine question, right? Because I went there and we was just mischievous, mischievous little boys, right? And it was the worst experience ever. And I'd love to know.
Isn't that great? A church that makes you feel so welcome. What a nice bunch
honestly,
of guys they were.
I swear to God, honestly, it's just something like out of a bad movie, but
Steady,
it's
well
true.
done.
It's true.
No, I believe you. I believe it happened. I'm saying what an unpleasant, unwelcome atmosphere to have made for for newcomers.
But I'd love someone to break it down and say, explain what the church or that religion or whatever it is that happened.
Where was it?
So it was in Poplar.
Right, why don't you go and have a look?
No, the church ain't there no more.
Well, why don't you Google it?
What do I Google?
Old.
I mean,
church.
Iain, listen, right?
Poplar, then the street, and then the year it happened. I'll Google it. Right, I'll Google it.
I'm not a significant person, so
what?
It's irrelevant. It's the religion I'm talking about, not me.
Yeah, I know, but if you find out,
Google me.
No, I'm not going to Google you, you muppet. I'm going to find out what year was it?
Well, it doesn't matter. Find a religion.
I'm going to find it by getting a few clues.
If you give him the name of the street and when it happened, we can find the title of the church.
What? So it's a religion.
No, what year did it happen?
So it would have been, say, 1986.
1986, right? And where was it?
So it was in Poplar.
Poplar. And what was the name of the street?
So it was on Upper North Street.
Upper North Street Church.
The church is excavated now, though. The church ain't a church.
Yeah, well, you know, the internet doesn't just keep a record of everything in its current state. It keeps a record of everything that's ever happened.
No, Google the religion, not the time and the date and the street.
Cass, can you explain to him?
It will be in the title of the church.
If we can find that church, then we'll know what religion it is.
Yeah, I get you. So it'd be on some sort of social record.
Yeah, someone have written
do you
about
know
it.
The internet? Why do I always end up arguing with you, Darren?
No. I tell you what. Listen, right. I rung you.
Hang on a minute. Is this Darren?
Interesting.
Hang on a minute. Is this Darren who called up the other day?
No.
Oh.
No.
But it is.
The other day.
Yeah, and we had an argument.
Out.
Sorry?
What do we have an argument about?
About your attitude.
No, definitely not.
Well, it's funny because it sounds like you.
Smells like me.
It sounds like the Darren that got a cob on when I questioned his attitude.
No.
Funny
you
because
got the wrong person.
It
Iain.
sounds exactly.
You can It's fine, I can understand.
Well, I don't think you can, because you just misheard the word sounds for smells.
Honestly, Ian, listen, just talk normal. I can understand.
It is you. I recognise the attitude, Darren. And I know it's you. Why are you pretending it's not?
From what? What have I done wrong?
No, you've not done anything wrong at all. I'm just recognising this slight attitude. That's all. I just wonder why you won't acknowledge it was you that called in the other day.
What? I've rung you twice.
Darren, come on, man. I recognise you. I know it's you.
I love this. I'm sorry, but you've definitely got the wrong person.
What did you call in about before?
This is Darren.
Yes, I know it's Darren. We've spoken before. You got a cob on because you were waiting for 39 minutes, and then I mentioned your attitude, and you got a bit of a cob on. But I know it's...
No.
Darren,
you've got the wrong
you got the
wrong... Ian, you've got the wrong person.
I'm not, though, Darren. I recognise your voice.
Really?
Yes, really.
No,
and it's
I'm
not a
sorry, but
problem.
You've got the wrong person. I'm not being indicted on this at all. Sorry.
Darren, the thing is, you're not in trouble. And I said after the incident that you were welcome to call in.
What incident? What are you talking about, Ian?
The thing when you called...
I've got no idea what you're talking about, mate.
Shall I play the audio of it?
Go on, please do.
All right, and if I'm wrong, I'll apologise.
Okay.
Yes, well, excellent. I'll look forward to that one.
Let's listen. Darren's on the line. Evening, Darren.
Hello?
Yes, Darren?
Hello.
You won't be on the line for much longer with that attitude.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was...
All right, it's not you. I apologise.
Sorry?
I apologise.
Can you say that one more time, please?
No, I've said it twice.
Yeah, no, Ian, honestly, you got the wrong person.
I know, I've just apologised for it.
Yeah, anyway, so just back to the church, yeah? That's all I was asking.
Yeah.
Just ask anybody, right, what the crack
Let's
is
ask
for that
Jeeves.
church.
That's Jeeves.
Right, I'm Googling it.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a genuine question,
I
yeah?
know, and I'm genuinely Googling it. Poplar.
I could have Googled it, but I'd rather ask you.
Yeah, well, I don't know the answer.
He's not a theologian.
So I'm going to Google it.
See, I'm a London taxi driver, right, and I know a lot, obviously, but I don't know nothing about that church.
Did it have a big point on the top?
Shut up, man.
I'm asking.
Honestly.
I've got a picture of a church. Darren, I've got a picture of a church.
It had gargoyles around the edges.
Darren, I've got a picture of a church in front of me. It's got a big point on the top. I'm asking, did the one you went to have a big point on the top? Because then we can see if this church is the same one that you went to.
What, by a point on the...
Well, it's quite an... And it's quite a different looking building.
The church is on just off Upper North Street, yeah?
Why don't you just... Right.
But the actual church now is actually it's completely empty, and they've propped it up with scaffolding, right? So I guess that sort of congregation occupied the church while it was available. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't be bothered.
What?
Well, I can't be bothered. I'm looking, and I can't find it, and I'm a bit busy doing a radio show.
I thought this wasn't the radio show.
Well, but me Googling stuff isn't very interesting.
No, but ask.
All right, well, I've asked them. No one's calling in with it. What?
Sorry. I'm sorry to... Man, sorry.
But I don't... What is it? It's all right. If anyone knows it, they'll give us a call, but no one's ringing in.
Yeah. All right, yeah, no, fair enough, but, you know, all right, well, I just thought I'd pose the question.
All right, the question has been posed. My sister asks, can we do a show where only people called Darren call in? They do... I was listening to the other Darren during the break. It's on YouTube. You're not convinced?
No, because when you put them on at the same time, it was clearly not the same person.
Well, but the intonation was very... Anyway, it seems to be that for some reason, me and Darren's, I'm not saying it's the Darren's fault, but me and Darren's don't get on. We just don't get on.
Iain and Darren, maybe you fight
tree.
over the same syllables.
I don't understand as well what the concept of Google was so alien. Would you want to know what the year was? I'm insignificant.
So we can research a building that you're trying to find the identity of.
And then it just dawned on me, we're helping someone, and I'm not getting on with him. I'm not going to help him. If anyone wants to call in, I'm not going to badmouth Darren, but if anyone wants to call in and tell us the name of that church, 0844499 1000.
I'm not convinced that wasn't a special little performance just for him anyway. So it wouldn't be typical of any kind of religion.
Well.
Anyway.
There's nothing really in the papers. I jotted down some stories, knowing that our flat Earth friend. We've got 5 minutes left of the show, guys, and we probably, if you call in now, we'll straight to air for the last 5 minutes, because we will probably not be able to do straight to air tomorrow night.
No, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, we won't be able to do that. So tomorrow night's show, 0844499 1000, call in now, straight to air. But tomorrow night's show is hopefully coming from Sarah Sophie's house in Musselburgh, just outside of Edinburgh. We are meeting Jake Yap tomorrow at 4:00 in Edinburgh to get the Comrex broadcasting system, which we shall then plug into Sarah Sophie's wired broadband.
Mm-hmm. She's coming to your show as well, so you'll see her there.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. I really hope it is wired broadband, as she's told us, otherwise there'll be hell to pay.
Yeah.
And then we go round to her house and we do the radio show from there. And there's going to be a little system, because Ed's going to be here. There's a little system he can communicate with us, is there on a little screen.
Yeah, there's a website, a secret website.
Secretwebsite.com is the address if you want to join us.
Don't tell him the secret
Secretwebsite.com. And let's go to line 1, you're on the wireless.
How you doing here? It's Rocky, alright, pal?
Hello, Rocky. How you doing, fella?
Not bad, mate, not bad. I'm just wondering, you going to give me a wee phone tomorrow? You need a taxi tomorrow?
Well,
at any point at all?
Well, I don't know. No idea what the plan is for tomorrow in terms of movement. We'll probably just flag one down at the train station.
Oh, it's like that, aye.
Oh!
That's the second cabbie of the night that you've offended.
Well, at least the cabbie sweetheart's back. I'm delighted. I'll tell you, the show was pure without you, Kath. Let me tell you.
Oh, thanks,
Rocky. I say that in, I was going to say I say that in jest, actually, genuinely mean that. Because I've been used to listening to the two of you, I think this should be late nights with Iain Lee and Cat Boyle. The two of you come as a double act as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think maybe it should be
all right?
Kath featuring Iain.
Either or.
No, Rocky. What we'll do, Rocky, is we'll get a cab from the train station and tip very heavily. I think.
Aye, you will. I'll black bottle you. You will get a cab in Edinburgh. How long are you in town for?
Do they have Uber in Edinburgh?
Aye, but it's not going to kick off.
I've got the Uber app. I'll test it.
Well, give it a bash. But I'll tell you, in Edinburgh, other than, I don't know, maybe 2 hours on a Friday into Saturday, 2 hours Saturday into Sunday, you'll struggle to get a taxi. So 4 hours throughout the entire week, you might probably get a cab. Any other hour within that week, you can pick what colour of taxi you want. So there's no the unmet demand that you're going to get in bigger cities like London. I mean, don't forget, Edinburgh's just although it's a capital city, it is actually just a big town.
Yeah, no, I've been there.
You know what I mean? It's not a sprawling metropolis, so we're well served between black cabs and what we call private hire cabs. I think you guys call them mini cabs. I don't think Uber has been here for, I don't know, maybe a year, something like that. But I genuinely don't think it's really going to take off here. I may be wrong. I might be phoning you next year from an Uber car if you can't beat them, join them, sort of thing. But I don't think so. I really don't think so. But anyway, so how long are you in town for?
Get there tomorrow morning and leave Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, right? Well, I'll DM you my number. if you need a cab,
You're very
it's not
kind.
a hassle at all, mate.
Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate
I'll look
it.
after you. Aye, not a problem at all.
You're very, very
and if
kind.
I don't speak to you before then, enjoy your.
If you see me, come and say hello.
I will do, mate.
Nice
Don't
one.
worry, you'll not miss me. You'll not miss me. I'll make sure I see you.
Thank you, Rocky. Nice one, fella. Thank you very much indeed. We might see you up there. It is only a small place. You've been there, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's only a small place, so. But busy in the month of August for the festival. Very busy.
Going to be falling over jugglers and that, aren't
There's jugglers. The Diablo shall be up in the air.
there were a couple of those living statues. They don't do that.
Yeah, they do that now. They didn't used to, and they do that now, unfortunately. There'll be youth theatre groups performing scenes from the House of Bernarda Alba on the street. There'll be an all-Pakistani version of The Tempest.
Can't wait.
Yeah, all of this will be going on in is it Princes Street? It's all happening, and there's a stone that you have to spit on as you walk past it.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. But I think I'm the only one that knows that, because I'm the only person that walks past this stone and spits on it. And now I think on it, I can't remember where I heard that you had to spit on it.
Did you dream it?
I might have done, but that's only because my mind is connected to the collective consciousness of the universe. Don't start doing comic asides. That's my job.
Mm.
But yeah, there's a stone by the I don't know what building it's by, but it's a round stone, and you've got to spit on it for luck. That's what I shall be doing. Right, that's it. That's your lot. Fingers crossed tomorrow it will be us live. Failing that, it will be the best of. Till then, ta-ta.
Talk Radio. Dial up some dialogue.
Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.